Good evening. I'm TheDude79, and joining me is Mr. Fanboytone. And before we enter into the proper show of Banter and Babble, we wanted to take a moment to talk about the news that kind of shocked all of us this past weekend, and that is the passing of Chadwick Boseman, 43 years old. He was cancer, did what it does best, and that's what. It ruins people's lives, it ruins families' lives, and it continues to be one of the most just horrific things that we have to deal with. But we wanted to address it for a moment, talk about a little bit the impact it's had on us, our reactions to it, and kind of get that, talk about that first, and then get into the show. But Tone, I want to get your thoughts for a moment on Chadwick Boseman.
I was sitting there. It was Saturday evening, or was it Friday? I think it was Friday evening. Actually, it was Friday. And actually, you were streaming. I was kind of watching your stream, and I was sitting on my phone, and I happened to be on Facebook and saw a 1-minute post had done by I think it was comicbook.com said Chadwick had passed away, and I thought first thing I thought of, this is one of those joke things where they say celebrities die, right? So I was like, there's no way. And then all of a sudden, like, I went right to Google and started doing the thing, and yeah, it was popping up all over. I'm like, oh my god! And I nearly broke down at that point. Like, I was immediately hit with huge heartbreak and sorrow because, real honestly, like, growing up with comics and reading comics and stuff like that, and then seeing them on the big screen and coming to life like that, as a big kid myself still, to see these people, they're larger than life, they are heroes, they become bigger than who they are and who they play. And when you see that and you become very, very, very attached to these people and these celebrities that play these parts, they become a part of you. And Black Panther was a big character for a lot of reasons, for the black community as well too. And those folks have been dealt with so much in the last year as well too. And to have this happen as well on top of that, there's just a lot of heartache for those folks especially, and for all of us who are big fans and nerds or whoever you want to say. And it was just a complete shame, and it really affected my days after as well too. And matter of fact, my wife was saying, she's like, "What's wrong with you?" kind of thing. Like, I'm like, just to her, I was just like, she doesn't remember real names. I'm just like, Black Panther just died. Right. No one knew about it. He had been diagnosed in 2016 with colon cancer,
which nobody knew about.
Nobody knew about.
That's the crazy thing. I mean, the man was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016, so he's basically living with that. Yet he's still working and kicking out movies. I think he kicked out 6 or 7 movies, including, what was it, Winter Soldier where he first showed up?
Would have been Civil War.
He did 21, what was the one in New York?
21 Bridges.
21 Bridges. I mean,
The Five Blood.
42. I mean, just all these movies he kicked out during this time as he's dealing with this.
Yeah.
And it speaks volumes about him as a artist, as a performer. I mean, we all know this guy was just an incredible talent on the screen, but by all accounts, everything I've heard, he was an even better person in life, in real life.
Jay Hill hits it right there. When you've seen the videos of him talking
the one with the cancer
kids, and then him talking about how the people he's been writing back and forth end up passing away while he was working.
That video I got choked.
Oh, it killed me. Yeah. I can tell you that at least a dozen times this last weekend I was in some form of teared up or something.
Yeah.
Because it hits me on different levels and it might hit some other folks, but the point is that you could tell that this guy was an all around amazing human, a very caring and loving guy.
Yep.
Always smiling. You see him in interviews. He's very personable. There's just a lot.
He's also very humble. He's very humbled, and he loves he loves the work that he does, but he appreciates the people who can't be at that level. He understands that not everyone has it. Isn't as fortunate he is, and he was always quick to speak about them first. And he's their inspiration, especially you talk about the kids with cancer that wanted to see Black Panther before it came out, and I said, but in that video, it adds so much perspective because at the time he was dealing with it,
and you didn't know.
He knows exactly what these kids are going through, so that gives him more insight. I'm like, look, man, I know what these kids are going through. I want to try to get this done for them. And then he'd get the call that they didn't make it, and it's just, dude, that whole video is absolutely just heart-wrenching.
Yeah, and
it's really hard.
When you see him in the other videos where he's actually at the hospitals and stuff, and he's talking to these kids, man, it just exactly.
Oh yeah,
forever, baby. forever, real nap god, forever. You know, he was an amazing actor. He was an icon. I was excited when, you know, he was announced as the Black Panther because I was waiting for that character to come to MCU. I was really hype about that. That's a huge name that needed some love and attention in any comic book form, and then you get a guy like him to play it and become larger than life at anything he was on screen and anything he acted on. This guy had a serious future ahead of him.
Oh, the roles he's played. I mean, you look at them all right there. I mean, these are iconic characters that are not remotely the same in character. All different characters, all from different walks of life, all different, dealing with very similar struggles. But the guy could sit there and just rock the screen and embody whatever character he was playing. Yeah. 42 was amazing. 42 was a fucking incredible movie. And it just, you know, The Five Bloods, small role, impactful role, though. Like, he had a great role in that movie. It's just, it's heart-wrenching, man. It's really hard to think about it. And this is something that, you know, he's gone now, but it's something that we're never going to forget. He's going to be, he's inspired a generation of not just artists and actors, but people and kids. And it's just, it's difficult. It's hard to fathom. It's still when you wake up in the morning, you're just like, he's gone.
Right.
43. And it's just, you know, he didn't have any kids. He was married last year in a secret wedding, low-key wedding to Taylor Simone Ledward. So, I mean, it's just, it's heart-wrenching, man. So,
yeah. So our thoughts and, you know, positive vibes out to his family and everything going on with, you know, all of that. And like, there's a lot of people even in the chat right now saying they were super emotional. And some of you, I have friends on Facebook, like everybody was feeling it that day. And you know, that's just the bottom line. Like, you know, I know it's a celebrity. It's not somebody that we personally know, but these people affect you.
Oh, they have a major impact.
They have a major impact on you, and you see things, and you when you're suspending your disbelief and almost creating a realism in what they're presenting to you, you become emotionally invested and tied to that, and that's what happens with characters like this, especially when you realize humans like him, people like him, who were just extra amazing,
right?
And they could be at the best that he could be.
Yep,
it's horrible, but you know, we will always remember him. He will always be the king. Wakanda forever, Black Panther forever, Chadwick. Thank you so much for everything you did for all of us nerds and comic book fans and just people of film and who love a good story. You were an amazing actor, gone too soon, and man, oh man, it's terrible. But you know, he also touched a lot of lives with those folks, and
yeah, he made the most of it.
With those kids that were sick as well
too.
And that's
his life to great use and inspired millions, thousands, you know, just across the world. And there's very few people that say they can do that. And if you're able to say you can do that, that you've done that, I think you've lived a life that most people only dream of living.
Yep.
So we just want to take a moment. We're going to take a quick break, kind of compose ourselves, and kind of move into the show. But we just wanted to speak for a moment about Chadwick Boseman. And we appreciate you guys' time. We'll be back in just a moment. But we'll always remember Chadwick Boseman, gone at 43. Rest in power, King. All right. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, And joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm well, sir. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. I'm getting buzzed up. Even though this past weekend, my God, I got shit-faced.
Did you?
I was actually I got ordained in the last month or so, and I was actually the officiant of my brother-in-law's wedding.
Ordained as
a reverend
of.
Oh no, I didn't do dudism.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't do dudism. No, I wanted to, but I added some dudism to it.
Okay, good.
I added a little bit to the vows. I did throw some in there, but I did not actually get ordained in dudism.
You still do it.
I could. It's super easy to do. It's just more expensive than doing it the regular way.
Fair enough.
So I was super fortunate to stand up there, read them their vows, and be a part of their day, and it was really, really awesome. It was a beautiful day on Saturday. It was awesome.
It was a beautiful weekend.
It was great. We were down in Grand Rapids. They had a beautiful setting for it. They were like in this park with a
it was lovely.
With a river going by. I mean, it was just a very scenic wedding. It was really, really nice. But the after party, Daddy does what he does best,
which is make yourself completely uncomfortable and everybody else around you.
Reverend Dude got fucked up and smashed and told all sorts of bad jokes that didn't go over well and didn't land either.
At all.
Yeah, it was really, really, really a tough crowd. But the plus side, the best thing about this reception, and it was a very small reception. It was like 15 people.
Oh, great!
But when they placed the order for the catering, this was before COVID hit.
Ooh.
So when they ordered all the food and then COVID hit, and they were like, "We need to cancel." They're like, well, if you cancel the order, you're going to lose your deposit.
Oh.
So they had to keep all the barbecue for 50 people, and still had that delivered. Ribs, brisket,
oh, no way.
Barbecue chicken, mac and cheese.
Oh my God.
Barbecue baked beans with bacon.
You blew up a toilet.
Dude, I ate so fucking good.
Oh my
so
God.
Good. And I drank a lot. I ate a lot. I destroyed the bathroom at the Airbnb we were staying at. I wrecked it. It was really bad. But it was a lot of fun. Just got shit-faced. And it was kind of like a nice way to end the summer. You know, we obviously got Labor Day weekend coming up, but it's going to be kind of a low-key, chill weekend around here. But it was a nice way to end the summer, get moving into what has been a crazy week. My oldest, they started school this week. Mm-hmm. He's doing it all virtual. So instead of him going to daycare now with the youngest goes to daycare. So I'm working from home. And I've got my oldest, this is his first time in his first grade. And this is the first time the school's ever had to do a virtual thing, so it's just straight chaos.
Oh yeah,
around the house.
Oh yeah.
And it's been a busy week. It's been very, very hectic. But I'm happy to be here. I can put all that behind me. We're sitting here drinking. And before we get into what you're doing, I need you to tell these people what we're drinking, because this shit is the tits.
So this is something that I've been eyeballing for a month or two, and sometimes it's in and sometimes it's not. It's supposed to be seasonal. This is out of a Left Hand Brewing Company, Colorado. So normally we keep Midwest, mostly Michigan. However, I'm a big fan of raspberry, and I know you are too. It's a raspberry milk stout, and it doesn't even taste like beer. It's only 5.7, not too heavy, right? And it's light for a stout too, right?
Yes.
This thing's delicious. If you can find it in your area, well, get yourself a six-pack. What are you doing sitting there, you goofball?
Really fucking good, you guys. It's really good. It goes down smooth.
Yeah.
And 5.7, a six-pack of that will get me where I need to be.
And we were drinking beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've been drinking beforehand because we're alcoholics. We make light of that. We make fun of the fact that we're just a couple of lushes. But, Tone?
Yes.
What's going on with you, man?
Not a whole lot. Same old, I suppose. I'm really trying to work on Ghost. So all my extra time spent on trying to beat Ghost. Studied when I can as well too, the CCNA certification. And now we'll get to that in a little bit here, but Marvel's Avengers dropped this week.
Oh my God.
Everything is on hold. And just waiting for my fucking basement to be done. So hopefully Uncle Gary can get that done in a couple weeks and get that fucking thing all set up. But I'll make my life easier. So that's all for me. Not really a lot of excitement.
Is it gonna be a sex dungeon, the basement?
Prime gives me back all of my dillies, maybe.
Well, you don't want those back, bro.
No, they don't.
I've seen what he does on his after hours channel. It's disgusting.
Like putting your hand in a meat grinder.
It's really gross. Like, and the thing is, man, there's no hand sanitizer anywhere in these videos.
No.
I don't understand it. It's really, really bad and inappropriate. Dilly, yo, Pikachu, what's going on? Chat is rocking. We got the usual suspects in there. Appreciate everybody tuning in for episode number 20
It's 20.
We are 1/5 of the way to 100.
And we're right around our anniversary. Or do we coming up on a year anniversary maybe too, I think.
26, I think, because there's 26 weeks. Or 52 weeks a year, so we divide that in half. 26, so 6 more episodes will be our first year anniversary.
All right, well, there it is.
There you
Everybody
go.
Soon.
Now you fucking know. Stop making up dates,
I don't
okay?
fucking know.
God,
you're
fucking useless.
I can't keep days straight right now, so.
Yeah, I know that. I know that's your problem.
Hot dogs. We got some good stuff we want to highlight and see out there. Somebody did say something about taints out there. I don't remember what the rest of that said. That made me laugh.
You know, whenever you see taint, you're like, we gotta
roll back up on the taints.
You know what? I like taint material. So
what was said? Church of Latter-day Taints. Yes, that's what it was.
Church of Latter-day Taints.
Church of Cuddles. That's great stuff. Thank you everybody as well too for the fun stuff out there. But
appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And no, King. There's no jerking off and crying recently. So that's. What our days.
Okay, so we talked about the beer. We talked about what we've been doing. We need to announce giveaway.
Oh, we got one of those?
We got a giveaway going
and
tonight, we're giving away a $20 PSN code.
Oh.
A digital code for PlayStation Network. Now, the only problem is PlayStation isn't as lenient as Xbox when it comes to their codes. This is U.S. only. This is going to be U.S. only.
Anybody out there from the UK
so if you're
or anywhere
across
else?
the pond, sorry. Come back next time when we do another Xbox one.
That's not very nice.
That's all I can give.
It's just the reality of it. I apologize.
I'm not gonna
send
apologize.
you a Christmas
blame Sony. They're the fucking skeezicks in this situation. But going live right now, the giveaway, which will automatically draw a winner an hour into the show. If you guys want to stick around for this shit, if you guys want to stick around for an hour for this shit, you might get a chance to win a $20 code and a high five from me.
Yeah, I'm basically paying you to be my friend, and that's pretty sweet. So, I mean, that is what it is.
So it's active now. There you go! ! Enter.
All right,
enter.
Hit it, everybody. Hit that enter going.
If you win, you have to be here.
And if you win it and don't have a PlayStation, don't want it, give it to me. Back to me, and I can put it towards my Marvel Avengers Joe Fixit costume.
Out of here!
I just want to get my costumes, man.
I know you do. That's badass. We got a lot to talk about with that game.
Oh boy, Daddy about to lose some money.
All right, let's get to the first topic where I'm going to eat some crow. A lot of crow.
Oh, a
big old fucking plate of crow.
Doo-doo.
We're talking about Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Uh-oh.
The third entry in a franchise that's been dead since, 87, 88?
I thought
Was it 90?
Yeah, that was no.
Maybe 90. I don't even fucking know, dude. It's been dead for a long time. And when we heard this was in the rumblings of being made, I was like, maybe, okay. I liked the first one. The second one was okay. I mean, but I knew what to expect from Bill and Ted movies back then.
Sure.
I knew what to expect from Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter back then. Since then, we've seen like Keanu Reeves kind of like grow up.
Neo.
Yeah, he's Neo, John Wick. You know, he's played all these different types of characters that are a great departure from, Bill and Ted, or even what was that one movie with Patrick Swayze, the surfing movie, where they're Point Break, yeah. Even then,
we get a Point Break reference.
Oh, come on, dude! Point Break was fucking sweet. Anytime Gary Busey's in your movie,
yeah,
you bump it up a notch.
Yep, it's another star.
You bump it up a notch.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. So when this was announced, we're like, okay, we'll give it a try. And then we got the first trailer, and I watched it one time. Normally, you do it if I dig a trailer, like one we'll watch here in a little bit for another movie. I will watch it 5 or 6 times. Not only to see what kind of like little maybe things are in there to kind of dissect it, because it's so well made. Like Unhinged with Russell Crowe. I watched that trailer quite a few times. Like, man, this is a fucking awesome trailer. Like, I'm really excited to see this movie. Watched the Bill and Ted Face the Music trailer the first time and was like, this is going to be a disaster.
It felt awkward as fuck.
It was cringe as fuck.
Yeah.
And it was mostly in part to Keanu Reeves. Because in the trailer, I'm sitting there watching him going, he's trying way too hard.
What it looked like.
He's trying way too hard. Panic. We're going to talk a lot about Dennis Caleb McCoy. We will talk a lot about Dennis. But like, we
Yeah.
watched that trailer and I was just like, dude, this looks real. Oh my God, here we go. Here we go. And Cuddles, we need some new bits from you, okay? We need some new bits.
Yeah, I'll write something for you for next time, buddy.
So, expectations were incredibly low coming into this movie. This is one of these movies like they're rushing it out. They're just trying to like push it on digital or whatever, and it's just gonna be one of these movies that's gonna come and go really quick. At the time, I wasn't worried about it because Keanu Reeves is so hot right now. Like even if he has a dud come out, it's like, well, you still got John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 coming. I'm not too concerned if this sucks.
Right, and I feel like in a lot of his interviews, like he was talking about, I feel like he was actually enthusiastic about it.
He was genuinely
like excited to do
about
this. Probably because he's sick of all the blood and guns. Maybe he wanted to, whatever.
So finally, it came out this past weekend, and I went to iTunes before the review started coming out. I see it was $25 to own it. I'm just like,
or 20 to rent.
20 to rent, 25 to own. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, dude! If I'm gonna pay $20, I might as well pay $5 to own. They know what they're doing. Thing. But I at first I told you, I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to buy this movie right now.
You said to me, and I can't get the verbatim on it. You're like, because I was thinking about like watching it this week, and you're like, you're going to be the only person talking about it.
Yeah, this is going to be all you.
This is like Friday or something.
Yeah, this is going to be all you talking about it.
Yeah.
And finally, the reviews started dropping. And I don't put a lot of stock in reviews, but there's a couple of people that I can align with. Like I understand their humor, I understand what they like and dislike in movies, and I can find like common ground there and be like, okay, this guy or girl typically likes what I like. And I went to all these reviews, and it's at like an 80-something.
It was getting
Rotten
like
Tomatoes.
81% certified fresh and 82% user review.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I sent it to you. I think you were at the wedding or something.
Well,
I'm like, I know you're busy, but.
When I see in the 80%, I'm like, okay, what is this? Like 5 reviews so far. There's only 5 reviews that have come out. And then I'm looking, it's like 40, 50 reviews. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now, dude?
I couldn't believe when I saw that.
There's no way this movie's good. And so I was like, okay, dude, I'll fucking buy it. If it sucks, you owe me $50. And so I ended up, I bought it, but I didn't watch it. I didn't get a chance to watch it. And finally today I was like, all right, I got to watch this movie. So I watched it. And dude, it's better than it has any right to be.
It's weird.
It's so weird. It's a weird movie. First of all, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I walked away thinking, you know what, that I can tell when a movie is good if it goes by quickly. Now, this is a short movie. This is not a long movie. It's like an
80
hour.
Minutes,
yeah,
maybe?
It's maybe an hour and a half if it's lucky.
Yeah.
It's a shorter flick. But even at that rate, if a movie goes by quick, I'm entertained.
Right.
It's the ones where you're constantly looking at your watch like, what the fuck is like Waterworld? Like looking like, oh my God, I still got like 5 hours to go.
You must watch the wrong one.
Dude,
the German one or something.
We're going to have a discussion about that fucking movie. I can assure you that for the viewers. We're going to have a real long discussion where I'm going to just basically talk over you the whole time. No. But anyways, watch the movie. It does have a few scenes. Like I'll say right now, Keanu is the weakest link in this movie. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way though.
Right.
He's not bad.
No.
But Alex Winter is awesome.
He was like spot on.
He is. It's like he hasn't missed a beat. Like he's like he was born to play this role.
Well, he was eating out of fucking Big Mac, McDonald's dumpsters like 6 months ago.
We don't know
looking
what Alex
for Big
Winter.
Mac coupons.
Stop.
And shit, so.
Stop. We don't know what Alex Winter is doing.
True,
but anyways,
at all.
Like he's really good.
Yeah, he was
the
great.
daughters are really good. Like they're really.
That was very surprising.
I don't remember the blonde girl's name, but she was in a movie I watched recently where she gets married, and she goes to her in-laws. They have this huge mansion, and they're like, we play this game at every time they get married, we play a game where the bride goes and hides at the house, and we try to find her, and they're actually hunting her to kill her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if any hide and seek. There you go. There it is. I think it is hide and seek. Is it hide and seek, Blanco? Is that what it's called? Or I thought it was Ready or Not or something like that. Anyways.
Or maybe he's just remembering his childhood.
Oh, my God. Stop. No, but anyways, if somebody can look that up, I'd really appreciate it.
Is it really hide and seek?
It might be hide and seek. It's
Blanco
something.
trolls, so.
It's something like it was better than I thought. Dude, that movie was really, really good. And she is Ready or Not. Yes, thank you. It's Ready or Not. But she is really, really good. Like when I saw it, I was like, this girl's gonna be a fucking star.
Oh, damn,
she is she's really, really good.
Same shit. You're right.
But you go back to this, and she's in it, and they're really good. And then William Sadler chews up every scene he's in as Death. Like it's so good to see William Sadler back. I mean, I love William Sadler.
Say his name out there, Panic. Say his name. What's his name?
Loved him in that because obviously, and he's had a good year, man. He had VFW earlier this year. Bill and Ted Face the Music this year. I mean, can we get him? we can't get Colonel Stewart back because he blew up in a plane in Die Hard 2, so can't get him to revive that role.
But William Sadler's amazing.
Yeah, I love Bill Sadler. He's a great actor. But I mean, everybody in this movie is game.
Yeah,
and even though
really
Keanu seems a little awkward at times, and I don't know if maybe this is just because it's difficult for some guys after they've played so many different roles. Whoa. And yeah, I mean, it was just kind of, I don't want to say it was like he was phoning it in. I just think it's a type of role he hasn't played in a long time.
I think he's been so far away from just being that real quiet, stern stoic. And like for him to, like I said, again, you can tell when you're watching it that he's trying his best to be into it.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault.
Right.
And it doesn't ruin the movie.
No, not
at all. And honestly, like, again, it's a fun movie. Like, it's not overly funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the greatest movie you've ever seen.
Nope.
It's a good movie. It's far from being a bad or terrible movie by any means.
And I can tell you right now, this probably won't be the one that'll have you recommending Bill and Ted the series to anybody. You're not going to be like, oh my God, the third one's the best.
But if you watch them all together in a row and go like, okay, that makes sense, and it works because what they do is they bring their daughters in to be a piece of it. And it's kind of one of those things, and they did it right how they do it. They're passing the buck kind of to their kids.
And they basically do the same thing that the Bill and Ted did in the original.
And it fucking worked, and it was great. And, like, honestly, some of the celebrity roles that you always come through when you jump around in history and time were pretty fucking rad.
Yeah,
like,
they're really good.
There's one in particular that I'm not going to name until you watch it. Was just like, oh, that's fucking cool. It was actually the first one. I was like, oh, no fucking way. So they're playing guitar. I'm freaking out already. Rad, so dude. That was great. So it was honestly, I did buy it for $25. I was going to rent it for 20. And I'm like, we'll just buy it. It is what it is. I've spent worse money on probably a fifth of booze that made me sick that I'll never buy again. So this was that's how I equate everything is.
I mean, would I recommend anybody to go buy this movie for $25? Probably not. I'd probably tell you to rent it. But if you're a fan of the Bill and Ted series, if like you really like this, Bill and Ted was kind of like a stoner comedy from the 80s. It was kind of like that, just a goofy 80s flick with just a preposterous concept and plot, but it was bolstered by everybody that was involved. We're going to talk about it. Dennis Caleb McCoy steals the show.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. At first, I was like,
dude, he is...
By the end of it, no, he completely steals the show.
He has, and it's not like he's doing a lot of... It's just his delivery of his lines. Like, the scenes where he's just making these deliveries of his lines, it is so fucking funny.
Oh, dude.
He's great.
Dude,
and
it was even, like, the little bits, and, like, they would have, like, a scene, and everybody, like, kind of rush on with the scene and move, and then he just kind of, like, strangle there and say something, and you're just like... God damn it, that was perfect.
Yeah,
like,
no, his timing and his delivery was really, really good.
I swear it was Seth Green, but I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't. I looked it up. I'd never heard of the actor before. Yeah, his facial expressions, especially, which is not easy to do. He's wearing like a mask and he's a robot.
Everything about it.
But his eyes, I mean, he really knew how to like use his eyes to like really
tell a story,
deliver the lines. It was just
Betty Davis eyes.
Overall, I mean, it's a fun movie. It's an entertaining flick. Again, this isn't something you're going to be thinking about weeks and months and down the line. It's going to come and go. But for what it is, it's another Bill and Ted's movie.
Yep.
And while Keanu Reeves, when I say he's the weakest link, I mean that in the easiest way, the nicest way possible. Yes. He's still into it. You can tell he's passionate about the stuff. I just feel like it's been a long time since he's been in a comedy like this, where he seems like, I think Panic said, he seems a little stiff, and he did.
Yes.
But I mean, it made up for it with Alex Winter, who was seriously he was on point the whole movie. Like I thought when we saw the trailer, I was like, man, Winters is just going to be terrible in this movie.
It was flipped.
Yeah, it was flipped. It was flipped the other way around.
Agreed.
But if you're a fan of Bill and Ted, yeah, I'd recommend the movie. If you're not a fan of Bill and Ted, I would watch the other ones first, somewhere else for free if you can, and then decide, do I want to finish things up? But I mean, everybody involved is game. The story, it is what it is. I didn't really know what was going on at the end, the point of playing the music. But I mean, I dig that message though in a way because the world we're living in right now.
It was being a little existential,
yes,
which some people might miss to a degree.
Yep.
But I think we kind of caught some of that.
Yeah, so. It's definitely a feel-good movie in a sense. It's trying to like be a bright spot in what has been just abysmal year.
Yeah, fucking right.
So overall, I mean, thumbs up. I dig it.
Yeah, dig it. Yeah, good stuff. Thumbs up. There you go.
And if you saw the movie, obviously the people in the chat who have seen it have spoken up on it. Tricky Region said, he liked it. He thought the passing of the torch, being a dad, that made it better for him. Something like them passing it down to their kids.
Exactly.
I dig that as well. But everyone thought it was decent. Everyone thought it was better than they expected. It was entertaining. And I happen to agree. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, or if you're listening to it on iTunes or Spotify, come on over, drop us a message on YouTube, and let us know what you thought. Therapy session was really, really good. I don't know what that girl's name is. Who was the therapist?
She's actually from.
She's on.
She was. I can't think of her name offhand. She actually got her start, for the most part, in Workaholics.
Workaholics.
Hilarious in that, and she's done other small roles.
She was in 22 Jump Street, and she was fucking hilarious in that movie.
She puts 110% with everything she does.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Awesome.
Everybody, like I said, that's basically what you got from me. Everybody was just into the movie. They were digging it. Everyone like embraced their roles, and that's all you can really ask for in a movie like this.
Absolutely.
So. Really, really good stuff. Check it out if you're a fan of it. I think you'll dig it. If you're not a fan of Bill and Ted's, there's probably something else you can watch. Moving on to something that is really starting to build up.
Oh,
and easy.
Sorry.
Easy. You
sorry.
fucking pervert.
Not that. Oh, sorry.
God, can't fucking take you anywhere.
That was embarrassing.
Lovecraft Country.
We
talked about the first episode on the last show. We have since seen 2 more episodes. And this show, after the 3rd episode, is now balls to the walls. We're going fucking crazy.
We just got to that point. It's always the 3rd episode, it seems like, in a series where all of a sudden...
Yeah, the first episode...
on the gas pedal.
I know we're a little bit different on this. The first episode we both thought was really, really good. A good setup. The second episode, I know we're a little bit indifferent. I didn't care for the second episode because it tried to squeeze so much into this episode, and it just seemed kind of messy. And you made a good point the other night saying... it would have benefited if this episode maybe a little bit longer.
It was definitely a little bit messy in the second one, I think, because for me, at the very least, because of my background with knowing some of the Lovecraft stuff, a lot of that makes sense and very fits in that world, but it threw a lot at people after the first episode.
Right.
It should have been drawn out just a little bit more to make more sense, but... like you said, though, as well, too, outside of that, it's probably going to all come full circle at some point, too. And it kind of did in the 3rd episode as well, too. But, again, I did like the 2nd episode. I had no qualms with it because, again, I understood what was kind of happening, what was going on, the entire setup for it. I knew it was probably going to have that ending or what was going to happen. I just didn't know the outcome necessarily. And then you get to the 3rd episode, and the 3rd episode is like, whew, it kind of, even, which is funny because it still kind of came out of left field to a degree, too.
And I'm going to circle back to Cuddles. He said the second one was all over the place. And I think when you
I
have
agree
a
with
show
that.
like this, it's usually the second or 3rd episode where you kind of see the table getting set. They're placing the table. Everything is, you're kind of seeing where everyone's going to be and what possible plot lines we're going to explore, who's what's real, and all that stuff. And again, I think it needed to be a little bit longer because it just seemed rushed because they were trying to do so much, with all the different characters that were in that episode. And then we come to this 3rd episode where the cosmic horror is now front and center. And the thing about cosmic horror is it's not about jump scares. It's about psychological horror. It's about the unknowing, not knowing what's going on, not knowing what's doing this, not know what's the driving force behind whatever entity is causing all this.
Or is it an entity?
Or is it an entity?
Right.
Is it just psychological? Right. We don't know. But, man, this fucking episode, the 3rd episode, no joke, balls to the wall.
Yeah, it was dope as fuck.
There were some legitimate scares. Like, legitimate scares, like, oh shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my, who's that? You know, creepy. I mean, it was just very creepy. They could have broke the second episode into 2 episodes, and that would have been, yep, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Or extended it to, like, another half hour just to kind of flesh out a few more things. But, man, that 3rd episode was fucking dope.
Yeah, and like, it still does a great job, all of them have, of painting it in a Jim Crow era. Like, they do that great. The third episode continues that pretty heavily. So it still makes you put into the and that's what's interesting kind of about Lovecraft, and you may or may not know this too. And the reason it's so important that this is somebody like Jordan Peele involved and they really focus on that stuff is because a lot of Lovecraft's work, which is written in the 20s and the 30s, has a lot of racial undertones and a lot of misogyny and stuff like that with that sort of stuff. Partly because of the time period as well too, and there's a lot of stereotypes using it in his writing. So people have debated over years, does that mean that Lovecraft was racist or anything like that? Probably to some degree, yeah. Because of the time frame. Yeah, more than likely, it was the time frame, right? At this point, though, having somebody like Peele involved in the hand in it and having this told from a perspective with black folk in this movie is important because it's still trying to kind of says, okay, let's break past those norms and those stereotypes, and that's exactly part of what's doing. So there's a bigger piece of the pie than just that as well too. Why it's important that they're doing this during this era as well too.
Mm-hmm.
I think and it makes it great as well too. But it adds another layer of storytelling and depth to it for sure. But man, oh man, like this episode really like. Again, put that to that what's the old saying, the pedal to the metal.
Yes.
And holy shit, like everything that's going on in that mansion, everything that's going on in her neighborhood, everything that's coinciding. There's like so many different things going on at once, and it's not messy. It's just like it keeps you fight or flight. Like what's going on? Where are we going with this?
There's a difference between being chaotic and being messy. Being chaotic, you can still have structure to it. You can still be organized and still
second episode
keep things like in a box, keep things contained. And this episode did that. You understood that what they were looking at, from a haunted house perspective, and they kept kind of everything in that, but they still had the cosmic horror and the Lovecraftian stuff with some of the visuals and the shit that you saw. And man, I'll tell you, there's when people get killed in this show, they don't pull any punches. Like, it is graphic.
That's what I want.
Yep, it is. But I mean, that's what makes it so cool and so unique is, when it ramps up the violence, it's shocking. But man, there is so much depth to these characters. There's so much going on. And part of that isn't due to the fact that Journey Smollett and Jonathan Majors, the two leads, are just so good in their roles. Now, Jonathan Majors is a fine actor. He's really good. But it's Journey Smollett who's really just shows so much range. And she can be intense. She can be funny. She can
overly
be
emotional.
Just
over. It's amazing.
You can tell this woman has a wide range of acting ability, and this is what you would definitely call a showcase show for her. She is really getting the opportunity to show her range and her abilities as an actor. And man, that's what really helps take that cosmic horror to another level, where it's not just based on shock and psychological horror. It is everything making this show hard to look away.
Absolutely. Forge, first of all, sorry to hear that, because dealing with Sprint's the worst. I hated dealing with Sprint. But welcome to the show as always, friend. Appreciate you being here. Yes, Panic, it is based, I believe, on an anthology as well, too. So you're right. There's probably a lot. It's hard to string stuff together, so that might create some of that messiness at times as well. Mm-hmm. I think overall, you're going to see as this plays out, it's going to be well put together anyways, because even in the second episode that's a little bit messy and sometimes hard to follow because it throws stuff at you like that.
Yep.
Overall, I mean, it's HBO doing a series, so there's a lot of awesome content. It's going well, so I think we're in for an amazing, fun season and a long haul on it. So, but you're probably right. It probably makes it a little bit more difficult.
And if you guys get a chance, I actually did this, and it is a sweet companion podcast. There is a podcast, Lovecraft Country Podcast.
Yes.
That has one of the writers from the show on it. She's one of the co-hosts, and they break down every episode, and they dig into some stuff that you might have missed or not put two and two together. I'm like, oh, shit, that's an interesting point. Ooh, excuse me, this beer's got me. But if you get a chance, it's available on Spotify, iTunes, and all other podcast platforms. I believe it's called Lovecraft Country Podcast. And it's out every time an episode comes out. Like 20 minutes later, it's available in podcast form.
Perfect. And that, there's a funny thing, and I'll leave it at that, is the actual, there's a beast-ish, monster-ish thing you see in the first and second, especially in the first, it throws everybody for a loop-de-loop. There's actually a lot of debates with hardcore Lovecraft fans on their art design of this character, because it's not exactly what some people thought they envisioned it. I can't think of the name of it offhand, and it's really annoying because it's a very common thing in Lovecraft. But a lot of fanboys of Lovecraft have been fighting over their art direction on these things, and I kind of stand more with some of the other people. Like, there's going to be some liberties when you're making this stuff, and a lot of things in Lovecraft just says it was very creepy and horrific and too hard to describe or slimy. It's very generic.
I think, and what that does is that gives you an opportunity to kind of interpret it differently.
Exactly, and people are kind of missing that point.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it doesn't matter if they look exactly like. They look pretty fucking cool. It's fucking HBO. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. Let's go.
I mean, if you look at all the movies that are based on Lovecraft, or there's a game actually called Tesla versus Lovecraft that came out on PS4 and Xbox One. It's an isometric shooter with you can play cooperatively, and it's fucking sweet. It's a really, really, really good game.
Yeah, dude.
But I think you look at all the different various monsters in that game that are Lovecraft. It goes to show, it makes sense what you're saying, how Lovecraft, the way he describes stuff, it really allows you to, like, create things and say, okay, look, this might not be something he talked about, but it's got all the adjectives or whatever. It's got all the similarities of the stuff that he created.
Right.
Enough of it in to make, you know what, I could see that being Lovecraft.
Yeah, because it's the 20s and the 30s, and he created basically a whole new genre.
Yeah.
For the most part. So, like, you have to understand that when people follow through, and we've talked about it many times in the show, especially with Color Out of Space and things like that, is that, or the Color of Space, excuse me, you got directors and people like John Carpenter, Guillermo del Toro,
yeah, oh my God,
guys like these, and now you can say, well, Jordan Peele's kind of one of these guys as well too. These guys are all inspired heavily by Lovecraft, and if you don't know that, it's a fact. Like even James Cameron, I think to some degrees, like these guys are big, heavily influenced by Lovecraft and some of his readings and stuff like that, and you can see it especially in like Del Toro's and Carpenter's, especially The Thing. Holy shit!
Oh my God, The Thing is so good. But yeah, like Lovecraft, like Lovecraftian horror, I feel is just it's more interesting because it's all psychological. It makes you think.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to go out and see a jump scare flick or this and that, they're a dime a dozen.
Yep.
But a well done psychological horror movie it's not easy to produce. But man, there's a whole lot of like blueprints out there in Lovecraft horror and similar
and that's the beauty of
authors.
It.
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of it. You don't have to try and hit the mark of how Lovecraft described it.
Yep.
It is about that interpretation, because at the end of the day, when you're sitting in Arkham Asylum because you're mentally about to break, it doesn't matter what you think or thought you saw.
Right.
You may not have saw it all.
Yeah, that's why cosmic horror is so unique, because it's not just the characters aren't a good narrator. You just don't know what's real. Like everything is so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Welcome, Ready Player One.
Ah, it's my boy from Boardwalk. He sold us the drinks tonight.
Was that dog?
Hey, welcome, Fred. Hey, what's up, brother?
Appreciate
Welcome.
Boardwalk over on Bay Road.
Bay Road, yes.
Yeah, buddy. I like the Boardwalk.
Those dudes in there are fucking hilarious. I love going in there.
If you're on Bay Road or if you're in Saginaw,
hit up my boys over there. Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you guys for stopping by.
For sure.
But yes, Lovecraft Country. If you're looking to watch the podcast, the companion podcast, Lovecraft Country Radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called. Check it out. Every episode, right after it airs, they have a new episode of the podcast go out, kind of like a behind the scenes, gives you a little bit more depth. And like I said, there are some really, really interesting points that the writer points out, says this stuff might have missed. One example is one of the things that, a lot of people talk about in the world today is how there are some people who are oblivious to racism.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't understand, why people of color are so upset, and so why they've lived such a difficult life. They don't understand because they don't see the racism. You know what I'm saying? They don't acknowledge it. They don't see it. They're ignorant to it. And the one thing about that episode, the first episode, do you remember when they're all in the cabin? They're like, that was a monster. And that one sheriff who he had a huge clump out of his arm. He's like, there's no such thing as monsters. But he just got bit by a monster. And she's like, that's how some people are. There's no such thing as racism, even though it's clear as day to everybody else, or to other people who are affected by it.
I'm telling you.
I thought that was super interesting when I was like, man, I didn't even think about that. But I mean, during the scene, when she's talking about it, I was like, shit.
Clever.
There's no such thing as monsters. He just got bit by one. He just watched all of his patrol officers get teared apart by one.
Right.
I mean, it's wild, man. It's wild how, especially during that era.
Blinders, man.
Yeah, blinders, for sure.
And final thing, yes, here, Panic, yes, Lovecraft, tabletop gaming is always big, and as long as I've been tabletop gaming for a long time, there's always great supplements in the Lovecraft stuff, even the board games I've got, so pretty awesome. And that was some of my first experiences with Lovecraft stuff, except for knowing what Cthulhu is. However you pronounce it, however everybody wants to pronounce it.
They actually talk about that on the show. It is not Cthulhu.
It's weird how there's a lot of.
I always thought it was Cthulhu.
It's more like
it's something that I can't pronounce.
Yeah, exactly, because it wants you to almost like a Cthulhu or something like that.
It's really difficult, like the way you're supposed to say
the actual way to pronounce it. Yes, that's actually fact.
So you're an idiot because you've been saying Cthulhu the whole time.
Hi,
you fucking dummy. No, I'm just joking. But yes, check out this show. And again, if you're watching it, let us know in the comments what you think of the show. I know a couple people in the chat have already seen it. Pikachu, what I would recommend you doing is wait until all the episodes are out. Sign up for HBO Max for 1 month. Binge it. Get rid of it.
Binge.
Best way you can do it.
Hell yeah.
Enter blanks. Welcome to a Banter and Babble. Moving on from Lovecraft country, we have to talk about something that has taken up a shit ton of our time this week.
Uh-oh.
Something that a lot of people thought was going to be a really bad game.
Assemble.
Let's talk about Marvel's Avengers.
Let us talk about it.
This game has been so undermarketed. Square. The beta
kind of has been,
dude. For as big of a property as Marvel is, obviously everyone knows that this is coming out. But at the same time, I just don't see anything on TV about it.
No,
I don't see anything about it on TV. There's no marketing. I think they're just trying to be like, okay, this is Marvel. We don't have to market it. Anybody who loves Marvel knows this game is coming out, which is fine. I get it. But you look at that, and then you look at the fact that when the beta came out, we played the beta, and we're like, man, this could be pretty dope. This could be pretty dope. I had no idea this campaign would be this good. Honestly, there was nothing in the beta, even the opening segment, the Golden Gate Bridge segment, which is fucking wild as that was. Nothing in that beta made me think, holy shit, this is going to be a sweet campaign, dude. Now, I've gotten to the point where I've unlocked Thor, and this shit is fucking wild. It is fucking awesome, dude. It is such a good story. The voice acting is nuts, and the set pieces are fucking rad, dude. You heard me last night right before we logged when Thor showed up.
Yeah, whatever was going on with you, and you were quiet in this party chat, and I'm like, well, this is awkward. I guess I'll jerk off.
We get to, and he did.
I did.
We get to a point where, and I won't spoil it for him, but Thor shows up, and you get to find out what his ultimate is. And I was just like, when I was reading it to him, he's playing, I'm like, okay, so this is what he does. I'm like, dude. Here's Thor's ultimate, and I'm explaining it. I'm like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so I do it, and I was just like, holy shit. I mean, look, man, I love Destiny 2, and I love some of the supers in that game. They're really, really good. This is Marvel level, like, production supers. This is fucking sweet.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, to hear, and this is where, like, I'm going to lean on you and pick sometimes, because your comments or your comparisons to Destiny are going to be very important to me as well too, and everybody, because how much time you guys put into Destiny. And Destiny, to me, as we've said, even playing this, they need to lean on Destiny. Destiny's done it right. Destiny's lasted. Destiny's core, their biggest focus, and it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've seen in some of the stuff people talking about it, people talk about Destiny and comparing this game too. Yeah. Now, you're always going to get the comparisons, but you don't need to try and like be like back in the day when a new MMO come out like WildStar, and they'd be like, it's the fucking WoW killer. Nobody's doing that. They're just saying that this has got those Destiny elements, and I keep saying it's got Destiny, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and Diablo, like this awesome 3-way after a kegger or something, and somebody had a gamma radiated baby like 9 months later, and that's awesome.
Wow,
it works out well.
Interesting analogy.
Right, it works out well, and I can't get enough of it. And I'm telling you, like that first weekend, I think I talked about last time, or one of the last times with the beta, I put 15 hours in the beta, played Hulk the entire time, of course, because I don't want to play Hulk, and it was awesome, and I couldn't get enough of it. It played exactly how I wanted to play, but all the other characters also play completely different, which makes it unique. So when you're playing this game and you're playing the characters, not only are you getting this, now we're finding out, 10-hour at least campaign that's beefy and meaty and epic proportions, as if it was MCU, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you're also getting characters that don't play the same. No. So if you're going to replay a game that potentially has, like we talked about in the last show, 15 characters unannounced that got data mined, and they all play even a little bit different, that's a big fucking deal. Because that not only gives you that sense of longevity, that continues your fucking grind, and that's the point, and that's the hook. You got to have that grind. You got to keep coming back. Now, the game definitely, as you see, it's got big voices like Troy Baker,
Nolan North.
That's all you need to say at that point. You know what I mean? And you got these guys doing voices, so it's not Chris Evans, it's not Hemsworth, it's not Robert Downey Jr., it's not any of these guys. It don't matter, because this is not the aesthetic of it. Kind of looks like MCU, but it's also kind of got that comic book mesh. So the Gamerverse in these games is called Gamerverse. It is kind of like a separate entity of itself,
right?
But they're leaning more. Blanco, we hope someday. Blanco, goddamn, do I fucking hope.
Where's Moon Knight?
He wants Moon Knight. Like, goddamn, I want that.
I'm gonna touch on what Atomic says here.
But it's leaning on the comic book side of it, which means where the MCU sometimes has a hard time digging deep or has to build to that, they can just pull from the fucking well in this game and say, whoop, here's this character, whoop, here's this character, don't fucking matter.
And we kind of saw that from the last war table when they were talking about just the enemy types. You know,
they went deep into it.
Yeah, they're like, this enemy here is based on this enemy from this one.
Yeah, 1976 comic first introduced this character, whatever.
It was just a very obscure character, but they're digging into that lore and they're saying, look, we have all this shit, we have all these characters, all these story arcs, all these different things that we can use to put into this game. Marvel has given Square and Crystal Dynamics, they're saying, here's our vault. Use what you want to use. Do what you want to do. Just and they're doing it the right way. They're every character that you see is based on some form of villain or character that the Avengers encounter throughout all the comics, and I fucking love that. Even if some of these characters are very obscure and they're just there to be there, I love the fact that they're pulled from the comics. This isn't just some guy sitting around going, "Oh, I'll just write this, and here's the character." They're looking at all this lore and saying, here's who I want this guy to be. Right. Here's who I want this girl to be.
And that means, like, so when you're talking in terms of a game that you're worried about longevity and content, and they're talking about the Avengers initiative in the Gamerverse for this, all the content going forward, characters and DLC, they don't say for how long. I'm gonna guess we'll say a year, but maybe forever, is all free. You buy the base game, it's all free. If you want to upgrade your characters and your cosmetics and stuff, there's like battle passes, I think, for each character. Challenge cards. Yep. You can pay real money if you want to. You might not even care about that character.
Right. But here's the thing. First of all, every character you're going to get that is added to the game is free. Every character that they bring over is going to be added to the game.
I like free.
If you want to earn the cosmetics, all like the nameplates and the different outfits and shit like that that's tied to each character's battle pass, their challenge card, you can pay $10 outright and get the currency needed to unlock all of it. You can do that. That's fine if you want to do that.
If you want to.
Here's the thing. If you do that, after you finish the battle pass, you're going to earn enough currency through the battle pass to buy the next one. So essentially, you're paying $10 one time. If you want to do that, here's the thing though: the first 6 characters are in this game. Their challenge cards are already unlocked, so you can start earning through it and going through it and earning credits there. I've already got 1,000 credits in mine.
Yeah, me too.
So once you knock out all of these characters, I don't know how many credits you're gonna have, but you're never gonna have to buy a battle pass because you're already earning it through these first 6.
Right.
Now, if you want to buy it right away, you can do that. Go for it. But you're only gonna have to buy it once. If you commit and grind, you know what I'm saying? If you commit and grind to it, you'll get your money back and implement it for it. I think this is a brilliant battle pass. And the other thing that makes it really good is the fact that there's no time limit. Like if you play Destiny 2 in a battle pass, the season pass, it's a season pass. It's gone after a while. It's either you start buying shit, buying steps of it, or you grind it out. This one, there's no time limit. It's available till fucking whenever. The character's not going anywhere. That challenge card is going to be available at all times. So there's no rush or anything like that. Just play through it, grind it out. And if you're into the game, dude, I'm down for that grind. I understand how these games work.
Right.
It's a grindy game. Deal with it.
And that, folks, is why I'm having this really big excitement about this. Outside of the fact that it's Avengers, why guys like him who play a lot of Destiny and can tell you and have something to like a basis for comparison, to see that excitement, that makes me feel good. Because on the side of saying, I want some longevity, how is this content going to work? And they outed it right away within the launch window saying, we have a fucking roadmap. Yep. How many games have come out like this that have some, like Predator, for instance? What's your roadmap? We ain't got a roadmap. We got one.
Yeah, coming soon, 6 months
They're
later.
coming to the plate. Again, let's point out, Crystal Dynamics, we've got Tomb Raider guys, and they've done like some of the other, like the trial, or whatever.
Right.
Trials, whatever. You've got Eidos Montreal, who have rebirthed mine and also Forge Hammers, one of our favorite current RPG series that came through a last gen, Deus Ex. We got them involved. And then you've got Square Enix, who that name alone has so much weight in the video game community as not only a developer, but as a publisher. And we talked about it last time on the show as well, too. They have published 2 successful MMOs for 20 years.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
So you can't tell me that they're not leaning on them for as well, too. We are looking at potentially a game that 10 years down the road, we could look back on a Banter and Babble and be like, oh, God, I remember when Avengers released. Yeah, it's so awesome. We're playing fucking Moon Knight finally.
I'll basically be Bernie over here from Weekend at Bernie. You'll just have you propped
right.
up.
I'll get propped up and I'll have Cuddles over here because fuck you. But, you know, but what? I'm just saying.
Okay.
But no, honestly, like, it's exciting to see somebody who's big into that world and has that feel, and an old school MMO player as well too, for us all to be excited. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and see, like, and I want
Right,
to
Cap.
keep things in perspective here. Like, we haven't gotten to the end game stuff,
And we haven't. You're right.
and that's a double-edged sword, because first of all, when you have a game that's a game as a service that's modeled after games like Destiny and Division, we have to remember when Destiny came out, the very first Destiny, there was a lot of criticism to what you could do in that game and how much content there was there to keep you busy. And that has been something that has plagued Anthem big time. Anthem's all but dead.
Anthem had content.
It is dead. Division suffered the same fate the first time around, and it's suffering that same fate now. You have to have shit to do for a long time. Yes, casual players will find plenty of time.
There'll be plenty of things for you.
But when there's someone like myself and other people like you who love the grind, who love to go in there and do every fucking thing you can do to earn every fucking thing you can earn, that can go by quick, dude. It can go by really fast if there's really not enough to do, if there's not enough variety to it. Now, we know, I can tell right now, this campaign is aces. Everything that we've seen in this campaign is better than anything I've seen in Destiny.
Right.
In terms of its story missions. I mean, high quality, high production value action set pieces that are fucking rousing and they're exciting.
Right.
And you're just like, this was wild. I hope I can do this again at some point. I hope I can play this mission again at some point. But when you get to those credits, what you have waiting for us at the end will determine how fucking good your game is. That will determine how long this game will stay relevant. And I feel like that's the best way to approach it. You have to keep things in perspective. Look, man, this might hit. This is still just 2 or 3 studios working on this game. Okay, you have to keep things in perspective. But here's the thing: they have a huge advantage over Destiny, over Bungie. Bungie has to come up with original stories, original shit, original characters, original stuff, which takes a lot longer than if you're able to just sit there and be like, "Hey, grab me comic number 42 of this series.
Right.
Let me pull this villain out.
That's
Let
true.
me take this storyline." They have everything right there. All they have to do is just say, let's do this with this character and make this here. Boom, we're done. They have a huge advantage over Bungie, which allows them to be like, okay, we don't have to think shit up. We can just, here's this, and boom, we can push out more content.
3 total. It's well, you got your publisher as far as Square Enix. You've got
Eidos Montreal
and Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics, and there's one other one, I believe.
Is there a third one?
I think there's a third one that's
so there's
in there
a third
somewhere.
one in development. Okay.
But even then, Destiny at one point had like 5 studios. Bungie, you had Sledgehammer, you had Visceral, you had a couple other ones in there. And even then, people were questioning the amount of content and the amount of shit you could do.
Right.
Because they're trying to come up with original stuff, original raids, all this stuff. That's really difficult to come up with nothing to work off of. Crystal Dynamics does not have that problem. They have a well of lore, a well of characters and storylines to explore. And that's what has me excited. Now, look, we got to finish the campaign and then jump into the end game stuff, and then we'll form our overall opinion of the game. But, man, we're
just excited right now.
The things that I love about this game, the campaign's fun, the diverse combat styles of every character. We kind of talked about it. Thor fights like Kratos in God of War. Cap feels a lot like Batman from the Arkham games. Iron Man is basically Anthem. And then we were talking about Black Widow, and we thought, I was thinking Max Payne a little bit, but then we were like, no, it's more like Dante.
Yeah, it feels more like a Dante without the stylish combat.
Yeah,
part.
yeah. I mean, it's just, dude, all these characters play so much differently from one another, and their skill trees are fucking massive. It's gonna take a while to like earn this stuff, and it's wild, dude. It's really been an exciting game, and the thing I love about it the most, man, is so many people were trashing this fucking game before it came out. Oh, I'm not gonna buy that. That looks like shit. Oh, that looks stupid. And then all these same people, man, I go on Twitter today, oh, man, it's pretty good. See? That's why you don't. You can sit there and say something might not be for me.
Yeah.
But if you want to sit there and say that game looks stupid or that game's going to bomb based on fucking nothing, and you better be ready to eat that crow.
Eat a burrito. Shit burrito.
Yep. And I can tell you that's the truth because that's what happened to me with Bill and Ted. I watched this trailer. I was like, this looks fucking stupid. This looks terrible.
Yeah, that trailer, right.
A lot better than what it was.
Yes. There's somebody said something. Avengers spoiler. Aquaman's mom is still alive, and her name is also
Martha. Why'd you say that name, Mother? Dude, when that scene happened, I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Is this really what we're doing? Is this really what we're doing? Martha's the thing that brings them together."
Oh God, yeah, BVS.
Fucking stupid.
I hate that. I don't like that.
But
going down that rabbit hole.
If you guys are playing this, let us know what your thoughts are.
Right. Holler at us if you want to try and play. We are playing on PS4 right now.
Yep.
Down the road, that could be expanded. We don't know anything about crossplay yet. They haven't even mentioned it. We don't think that's going to happen right now due to some of the way the saving works as of right now.
Yeah, cross progression is definitely. I don't know how they're going to get that to work.
I'm sure it's and maybe it's because we're another gen of consoles coming soon as well too. But if you want to play and be able to play Spider-Man on PS4,
but you know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you right now. Before I said, hey, these deals are just a part of the business. When you see these storylines playing out with Thor and Iron Man and all these missions, I can only imagine how fucking awesome the Spider-Man one's going to be. And I always thought it was just going to be a character thing, and cool, you just can't play with this character. Whatever storyline they come out for Spider-Man, if it's anything like these other ones, that is a bummer.
That is a bummer.
It's a bummer.
Enter blanks. Mine is actually Hulk, and Thor is to plan to be my second.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, those are my two favorite Avengers.
I am all about Black Widow right now. I love Black Widow. She is just a joy to play as. She's very acrobatic. She's a get in, do a lot of damage, get out quick. She's very ninja-like. She has some stealth abilities.
That's a great analogy for her.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Black Widow. I want to get my hands on Cap. That's the other one I'm really interested in. Thor is kind of like the third one. Hulk takes a lot of time for me to get used to. Iron Man, I am fucking atrocious with. I just can't get into the flying.
Yeah, you got it. He's gonna take a minute.
As somebody who likes to mash buttons, which is where Black Widow comes in very useful, and Cap will come in useful. Being able to fly around is super appealing. I get that, but for somebody who likes to get in there and do melee combat, Iron Man is not a good fit.
And we were talking about what characters play like characters. The best thing about Hulk is Hulk plays like Hulk. And I'm having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, Hulk,
love it.
As you go, and here's the thing, you guys. As you're ranking up these characters and their skill tree opens up, these are huge perks you're unlocking. Like it really changes the way you play the combat.
Mm-hmm. Like
it's
for instance,
super impressive.
I'm building the first points I'm putting it into my specific moves for Hulk. Yep. It's into my gamma radiation regen. Yeah. I'm putting it all into that tree so I can just keep using his more power and regenning my health, so I don't have to worry about falling in the middle of combat. So.
Yep. But yeah, Tricky, I agree. The flying is tough, and like I said, when you're flying, and I don't know if maybe I don't have the auto aim on. I feel like aiming with Iron Man is incredibly difficult. I feel like it's incredibly difficult because I think I'm aiming at somebody, but I'm not, and then I aim and I'm like, shit, I'm off. And by the time I get my sights on the person, I'm either getting shot from somebody on the ground, and it screws up your character. You lose your aim out of sight. So again, that's more on me. I mean, there's gonna be some people,
it is. You got to get good.
Yeah, Piccolo. I know he's amped as fuck to play as Iron Man. So I know he'll put the time in to actually get good at Iron Man. So God. I don't have to fucking use him.
We don't have to fucking use him. Bottom line though, guys, right now we're really excited. He's right. As we get deeper into it, get past the campaign, see where the operations and aka the raids are going to take us. We'll know more about the longevity in this, but right now we're really excited. There's a lot of potential here. I think that's the big word, is a lot of potential. That's actually like 3 words, but potential.
Josh says, what's the multiplayer like? It's basically kind of like what you see us do with Destiny. There's missions that you run. Everyone has a different character, and you're kind of like working in synergy with one another. Now, the thing is, will any of these endgame missions require, here's the thing about Destiny, is there's a lot of precision needed for a lot of things in Destiny, especially the nightfalls and the raids and such. There's a lot of communication necessary. And it's this game, like you said, is Hulk. You're not precision. You're smashing everything in sight.
Says you.
I forgot you're the master.
Throwing chunks.
But and I just, the mission structure is gonna be very similar. There's harm rooms, which are kind of like just wave-based stuff. There's going to be special missions. There's gonna be secret missions.
Weekend
in there.
hive missions where you're doing tiered levels, almost like a horde level.
Yeah, it's like the tower stuff in
Mortal
Kombat.
Yeah,
Tower after tower.
Pretty dope.
You basically go in with your heroes. And as you're playing through, once one hero gets wiped out, it brings you in one of your other 4 or 5 that you have left, and you just try to make it to the top of the tower. But once you lose all your heroes, you're right down the bottom. So I don't know what kind of payout it's going to be. So
they say,
but it's really impressive, you guys. It's been a lot of fun so far. What the end game looks like, we don't know yet, but we're going to get there because if I keep staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning, like I did, Josh just said, he goes, "Hey, where were we on Tuesday night? I missed the Tuesday stream." There wasn't one. Because I stayed up until fucking 4 a.m. playing this game on launch night.
Just working on the campaign, too. That's the thing about it. What post-launch character are you most excited for?
What do we know right now?
We only really technically know about Hawkeye and Spider-Man.
And old girl, the other archer.
Well, she's,
the Echo character that we're thinking
she is. Kate Bishop is.
Kate Bishop, yep.
Hawkeye, essentially. But we don't have, other than that, we don't know anything yet.
Here's the thing, though.
But except for the data mine, but we don't know if that's legitimate or not.
The war table they had the other day at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
It said, we had some stuff we wanted to talk about, but out of respect of the passing of Chadwick Boseman, we've decided to push this back a little bit. And that's when these people started making connections with the rumor about a Wakanda raid.
Yep.
And you got to believe, dude, if there's a Wakanda raid, Black Panther's got to be coming into the mix very soon.
He's definitely, I think a lot of they're going to, even though they're leaning more on the comic side of this, they're following a lot of the characters that look like in the data mine of the MCU to kind of still keep in people's mind and fresh. They're going to lean more on Inhumans and Mutants because at the time they were building this game originally, Fox still had control of the mutants, and Inhumans are basically, I always joke that they're the dollar store version of the mutants, but they're actually quite cool, and Inhumans are dope. So, but Moon Knight's a good one. El Blanco brought up. I think that would be fantastic. Man, that's a loaded question, and that's a rabbit hole.
Who's that?
No, Moon Knight. I'm
Moon
just
Knight.
saying, just like trying to consider who I want. If we're not talking mutants at all, ever, then trying to say, I would say Punisher. I'll go with Punisher because I fucking love the Punisher. I want the Punisher, or Ghost Rider would be a good second, or
God
Venom.
damn, dude.
Venom. Oh God. Marvel Strike Force in here. What up, Cap?
So, Cap, how's it going tonight, buddy? But yeah, that's what we want to talk about a little bit. Oh, Blade. Give me fucking Blade, bro.
Whistler.
Man, Blade movies were so good. The first 2.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on 3.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from Avengers. Talk a little bit about Gamescom. Specifically, opening night live. Jeff Keighley is, he's basically one of the big pillars when it comes to putting on big time events regarding the video game industry.
He is doing it, man. I don't like the guy. I think he's a Peter, but
he makes
doing it.
goofy comments. He has like an uncomfortable love for Kojima, and I get it. It is what it is. But opening night live was this past weekend. It kicked off Gamescom. There was a ton of stuff. I think dude just hates trilogy flicks. Not true, Cap. Die Hard 1, 2, and 3, even 4. Were good movies. Don't get me. I think it's just the last one in the series that really pisses me off. Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, A Good Day to Die Hard.
Why do you to say Crystal Skulls
RoboCop
in here?
3. I mean, all these movies fucking suck.
Yeah, RoboCop 3. Yeah.
Trash. Cuddles. Trash.
Blade 3 is not great.
Blade 3 is trash.
There's parts of it that's doable.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go. Bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Or on your vagina hand. Whatever one hits first, right?
Handgina. King Cuddles. King Cuddles, Handgina.
Trash. I mean, come on.
All right, fine.
Spider-Man 3. Ooh.
I can defend that, but you're right.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Donnie, guys.
Was not Sam Raimi's fault.
It wasn't. It was
It was Sony's fault. They wanted Venom in there.
Oh, see? Yeah. All right. So, anyways, opening night live. Saw a lot of games.
A lot of
good
stuff.
stuff.
There's really about 2 or 3 I cared about.
I didn't get the trailer for it because I couldn't pull it down in time, but 12 minutes looks fucking amazing.
That looks pretty good.
that independent like top-down thriller.
Yep.
Did you see who's voicing this shit in that? Doing the voice acting in that game?
No.
Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe,
What?
and my man James McAvoy. You have an incredible cast of voice people, like Hollywood talent, voice acting this independent game. That's 12 minutes, a thriller. That shit is hype, dude. That was the game that I got most excited about during this thing, and it's a smaller title. But the fucking talent involved, Atomic, stop. Jurassic Park 3 was trash.
Yeah, it was definitely trash.
I'm not having this conversation with you guys. Trash.
Cappadocian, watch your goddamn mouth to see that Matrix on.
Police Academy 3. I'll give you that one. Police Academy 4 was worse. 5 and 6 were kind of meh. No, 6 was bad. 7, Mission to Moscow was an absolute disaster. I think that was David Graff's last movie. That's Tackleberry. Unfortunate. Dad's yelling again. Well, hey, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, Art. Revenge of the Nerds 3. Trash. Tremors 3, Atomic. I don't know if I can give you that one, bro. Don't know if I can give you that one. I'll give you. I'm not gonna give you anything. Jurassic Park 3 was shit too. Naked Gun 3. Watch your fucking mouth. Okay, Naked Gun movies were always good. Yeah, no. 4 was Citizens on Patrol. Police Academy 3 was Back in Training. But anyways, I digress. Tone, you saw a lot of stuff. What was the one thing? I know. Well, yeah, I know what you were excited about. I can't wait to shit on
actually the Squadrons was pretty dope because
I actually reserved that the other night.
We got a really good look at Hera too, and the Squadrons really
was dope.
Got me excited.
Yep.
Outside of us working about Avengers and having to work once in a while some Predator in there, Squadrons the other big multiplayer game that I'm worried about this fall as well too. So. Very excited about that. I'm gonna have to buy a PSVR again, apparently, just to fucking play it properly with my stick. But even though we didn't get a lot of great stuff to see in it, we got some Dragon Age talk, and holy goddamn shit, where my Dragon Age peeps at? Because this got about 15 of us in my social media space really fucking excited. Now. Yes. Was there a lot of great stuff shown in the trailer and some gameplay?
No, don't take away my thunder. Talk about how this was so cool, dude.
Talk
about how it was so cool, man. Tell me why you were excited. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Looking.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, we got Mark Dano coming up.
I see BioWare.
Yeah, man.
I see BioWare. I see. Oh, is that Russell Crowe?
Oh, it's not Russell Crowe.
I know that was Russell Crowe.
Oh, come on, man! Tell me why this guy is so excited.
Because it's talking about Dragon Age.
Oh man! Holy shit!
Out loud. Because fucking E3 last year. You know what we got? We got a fucking symbol in some red beautiful paint and just said "Lone Wolf Rises." That's all we got at E3.
Yeah. What do we get in this trailer?
More than that.
We got people talking in concept art.
That's more than that.
Jesus Christ!
More than what we had at E3.
Continue, man. Come on,
year.
wax on poetically, man.
So some of the screenshots and some of the concept art, I'm going to go this route, actually look like they're going to Vinter and the Imperium, which is where a lot of us who are fans of the series have been wanting them to go. Dorian, one of the side characters in Inquisition, was actually one of the mages from Vinter and actually got some really good perspective of Vinter as well, too. And you always hear more talk of Vinter instead of really being able to see it because it's really the upscale version in the area, because a lot of Dragon Age is like that very fantasy feeling, like you're out in the woods, you're out in fields or whatever, caverns and stuff like that. Tevinter is the complete opposite of that. It's almost basically like your empire in some way, and they fight with I can't think of the name of the race, but what was What was Bull's race? Him and the first character from the first one. I can't think of his name or what their race was, but I think Tevinter and them fight constantly, like always, like warring and stuff like that. So it's really exciting that we're going there. But clearly, a character like Solus, the lone wolf, Kunari, thank you so much, Megasaurus. God damn it, that was always on the tip of my tongue. We're finally going to be able to go, hopefully, look what it looks like into that area and see what's going on. Yes, fuck Solus. Well, there's a lot of people that say the complete opposite of that as well too. But I can't wait to see where the direction of that's going. He's ready to tee off. This is great. Look at the that's a very nice.
Man, I'm super hyped, man.
Nice.
What a great place to show this.
Computers. There's a BioWare sign right there.
Opening night live of Gamescom. What a spectacular spot.
All right. Go ahead.
Why the fuck?
Yeah.
Can't EA?
I don't know.
Ever put out a fucking video about a huge title where they've already done one showing of it at E3?
Where the
showing is used very loosely here. Yet here we are again. They're talking about the next Dragon Age. And all we get is concept art. And right there, we get fucking wireframes. Oh man, what a fucking trailer. Yes, I get it. This guy has an awesome beard. Yeah, more wireframe shit. Why the fuck can't we get a trailer from EA? Don't worry, I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to bite you too hard. Why can't EA put out a fucking trailer? I don't care if it's just Tone walking through a tunnel or through a bunch of mountains. Why does it have to be fucking concept art and wireframes with these fucking people? Every fucking time EA shows off a huge title. Yeah, man, get excited. We got concept art. Where's the game?
That's a great question. So,
dude, this thing has to be in the most alpha of alpha stages.
Right. I'm pretty sure when they announced it last year at E3, they hadn't even started on shit. And maybe they did. I don't think they did. And clearly there's some EA bit here because you're absolutely right. Like, what's the joke here? We got BioWare. Well, they're trying to somehow re-scrap Anthem from shit, but wasn't it B Team that did Anthem? Is it supposed to be A Team? What teams? Who's left at BioWare? Casey's left at BioWare. That's about it. Doctors are gone, right? Everybody else is left.
Everyone's out.
Yeah, they're all fucking jerking off in some beautiful little hut somewhere in like Barbados. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
What do we got?
1 minute.
1 minute left. Hit exclamation mark enter if you have not yet win that PSN.
Exclamation point
money.
Enter. $20 PSN code, US only. I apologize. It's not my code. It's PlayStation's. Exclamation point enter. 1 minute. Let's see who's going to get that $20.
Right.
Exclamation point enter. Get in there. God dang.
What was that smell?
Cap. I hate Cap. Look at Cap.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
What
was doing that shit earlier? Yeah, so at the end of the day, yes, there is a definite problem with they knew what they were doing. They got me and my 15 friends and people, Pikachu, Saphira, Heather, Ricky, Andrew, Megasaurus. They got all us excited. They knew what they were doing. 15 seconds, everybody. They knew what they were doing, and they got us excited without showing shit. Because it's probably still 3 fucking years off. Who knows, right? All right.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is... Tricky Regent.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my Lanta.
Trickety trick.
Wow. Tricky Regent wins
trick.
the $20.
There he goes. All right.
Congratulations, Tricky Regent.
Trickety
I
trick.
work with you, so you're not going to get your code ever.
Yep.
No.
Sorry. We'll send you some intermission deli.
Yeah. I'll send you over. I'll send you a Wappa.
Maybe a Spucky.
Hey, that's actually kind of a good deal.
I like Spuckies.
Spucky, man, is good shit. Good shit.
Okay, guys, we can lean out. Fuck you, King. You piece of shit.
What a son of a bitch. But no, seriously, hey, you guys, we appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in every week. We love doing giveaways. It's our way to show our appreciation to you that hangs out in the chat, keeps the chat going, offers up your opinions, offers up your perspective on stuff. We'll do this for as long as we can. We really, really appreciate you guys. Tricky Regent, you've always been here. You've always been supportive. You've always thrown in your opinions on the topics we're talking about. We appreciate you. Congratulations on that, man. I'll get you that code after the show, bud.
Plus, you're a great supporter of our Discord community.
Yes.
You play games with us. You're an awesome dude. You're funny. And you're way more fun to play games with than this guy, so I appreciate you.
Wow, that's... like that last part was...
that was a target. You just targeted my fucking game.
Well, you know what? Stop jerking off BioWare like they're fucking gods, man. Seriously.
Well, maybe one time, but sometimes the mighty fall, and that's exactly what happened.
Anyways, let's talk about what was arguably... Well, first of all, before we get to the highlight, in my opinion, what the highlight was, let's talk about the awards that were handed out during this show.
I didn't even check out the awards.
Okay, no, like,
I
look,
cared about the game stuff.
I get it. These like Gamescom, and they have like best in show and whatnot. They have like best game, best Xbox game, best PlayStation game, and then like best of show or whatever. And so they give out these awards, and they're like, all right, first of all, best Xbox game. What's the one that just came out? That No Way, or Explain to Me, or Tell Me Why. Tell Me Why from Don't Nod, who are really, really good at their games. They did like, what was it? Strange
Life?
What, Strange Life. Yeah, Strange Life. Or Life is Strange.
That's what I said.
You know, so they win like best game for Xbox. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. And then they're like, oh, best PlayStation game, Cyberpunk 2077. Huh?
Really?
What?
That was the thing?
It's not even out yet.
Wait, they did that?
But here's the best part.
Wait, I didn't know that.
And then, at the end of Gamescom, they're like, what do you want to talk about? The most anticipated hardware of the year. I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll see PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and whatever else. And they're like, okay, so the most anticipated hardware, here are the finalists. Xbox Series X. Cool, that makes sense. And Amico and Television. Huh? And then some other thing. And they're like, oh, the most anticipated hardware is Xbox Series X. I'm like, wait, what? We're not going to have PlayStation. You're not going to include PlayStation 5 in this conversation? How does that happen? How does Amico and Television end up with the most anticipated hardware? And the other one I can't remember what it was. It was so obscure. I was like, what the fuck is how did they come up with these entries? So, my voice to you, or my opinion to you, Keely, is either fix your shit with your awards or just don't do them, because they don't make any fucking sense.
Listen, like, okay, the guy's kind of pretentious. I've met him once, and he's kind of an a-hole. And, like, I understand he's kept the Gamer Awards going a lot on his own back, and I respect that, okay?
Yep.
I understand that. But if you want people to take you seriously and continue to, like, video games to be a serious medium for art, don't do bullshit like that. Don't waste our fucking time. That sounds stupid.
Dude,
I'm more like I'm honestly flabbergasted about the Cyberpunk thing. A game that's not even out won a fucking award for it.
For best PlayStation game. I was like, what?
The fuck?
What
Get out of here with
mean?
that shit. All right, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, it was just really goofy how they did the awards. But anyways, I thought the highlight was without a doubt was the Ratchet and Clank. We got an extended demo of it running on PlayStation 5.
Probably the best looking game there overall, honestly.
It looked amazing. Like I have experience with Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of experience, but it's not something that I would just be like, oh my god, I got to have this game. I got to buy a system for. I've never been that way with Ratchet and Clank. I've always picked it up like, oh, this will be fun to play. It's a cool platformer and mix it in here and there. This shit was nuts. This demo was fucking great. Like, it looks really, really good. And the thing that we saw in this demo is the thing that I think a lot of people are expecting from first party games in general, is the use of that SSD drive. And the way they use these portals in this game, how they're able to like just basically fly through these portals and they end up in a whole new area. And it's just like, wow, that loaded. Typically in an area where it would take 20, 30 seconds to load in.
Right.
And this thing was just, boom, you're right there. I mean, the gameplay looked good. The particle effects.
The particles are what
everything was just like,
right
it looked a lot of fun. It looked like it was. It's really interesting. They posted this trailer, they showed this, and then they posted a 4K trailer on the PlayStation channel. And like I said, this game looks fucking beautiful. But a lot of people were like, well, where's 60 frames? Why isn't there 60 frames on this game? And I thought that was like, you know, why isn't there 60 frames? And then shortly after that, a couple guys from Insomniac did an interview with Famitsu, and they confirmed there is a 60 frame mode. Now, why they wouldn't show that, I'm not sure, because I mean, you think you want smooth gameplay, you want everything going on, blah, 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 blah. Whose mic going crazy? My mic? Dude sucking. Or is my mic all fucked up? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello? Test? Fuck, shit, fuck. Yeah, mine? Oh. Is it still fucked up now? Or do I sound funny? I wonder if it's doing that sound thing again.
Is it?
Will Ferrell. Oh, shit.
Crazy, man.
Hang on a sec.
Crazy.
It's super deep. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I know. It's happened before. Hang on.
You crazy, man. I love that fucking part. Crazy. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Test. How do I sound now? Do I sound okay now?
Let's get it on.
Hopefully that worked, because that's happened before. You're good? Okay, thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate
thank
it. And that's remember we happened that one time?
No, never been here before.
Okay. Try yelling at me.
Yeah.
Nah,
Don't
I know
worry.
What he doesn't have his pants on now.
Don't
Try
worry.
yelling at me.
No, he's probably half passed out on the floor.
Awful, but regular awful. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate you very, very much for pointing that out. But overall, I mean, this was a really good looking game in action. It was cool to see a PlayStation 5 exclusive running in an extended gameplay demo, and it just
right,
looked
Megasaurus.
really good.
That's right, Meg.
He was done.
That's right.
That's
Fuck yeah, Meg. That's my army.
penance.
That's my army.
That's my penance for trashing Dragon Age. I don't apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That was a shitty showing for Dragon Age. But Tom, what do you think about this? I mean, were you pretty impressed by this?
I said it before, man. It's not a series that I play a lot of. It's a beautiful looking game though. The HD remake of the original on PS4 looked amazing. That SDD drive and I said that wrong. The particles in this game are the big key to that. Like I get the dimension things, but the way the particles and everything's working, and the amount of stuff that's able to load on the screen at one time due to that, pretty immersive and pretty unreal. So
yeah, it's a beautiful looking game, and again,
James
it's just James Earl Jones. I thought it was hilarious.
yeah. There you go.
God damn it!
Paul to the Rebel Alliance and traitor. Take her away.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was a cool show. I mean, it was like I said, the awards were goofy. I appreciate
There's a few
Keeley.
things I was all right about.
Yeah, but there was a lot of good games that were shown. Now, am I the only one in here? And I don't know if any of you saw it. I just cannot get excited for Godfall.
It looks good. I don't have a care in the fucking world. There are people that do, and I understand that, but I don't give a shit.
Every time they show that game, I just come away going, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah, I'm
no
just
interest
not gonna
in
play it. No, I got.
I mean, it's supposedly a looter slasher, but I've got Destiny 2. I've got Avengers. If it holds up, I have no room for Godfall.
Yeah, and maybe it's fun.
It could be.
But
I mean, a looter shooter requires grind, and dude, there's no way it could fit a third one in there. And there's nothing into it. When I see that gameplay, I'm just like, this looks like it's just been done better elsewhere. I don't get excited about it at all, and I love slashers. I just watch that, I'm just like, nope, I'm good.
Nope, I don't. It's not even on my radar.
It was such a weird showing too. They ran it out. They show one bit of combat, and then they cut away. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with this game?
I don't think
man?
anybody knows. I will wonder. Here's a real question though, and we can probably move on from kind of some of the jokes that were in this Gamescom. But do we think that Jeff Keighley is a never nude? Does he take his never get naked and showers like that?
Oh, he showers with a bathing suit on.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yep, he's sitting down, showers with a bathing suit on. That's definitely Jeff. Man, if he watches this, he'll never come on our show.
Shit, he's a pretentious a-hole. Go on.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry. It is what it is.
I'm gonna clip that and put it on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and tag him.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm sure he won't give a fuck.
Nope.
All right, moving on to the final topic, and a good one, mind you. It's a good one. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about here. There's some wild shit going on at DC Fandome. There was a lot of stuff that went on. We can't talk about it all because we would drag the show on for another hour. But there was a lot of good shit that came out of DC Fandom. There's a lot to be excited about in the world of DC.
That is the point right there. And this is somebody I'm a big Marvel guy, 90% more than I am fucking DC. So I'm going to out with that right away. What I love about DC is Batman like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it was awesome to see DC on a huge stage with a big bound of excitement, and everybody was into it.
Mm-hmm.
That was great to see. That's been something we've needed to see out of DC for a long time, and they fucking delivered it. And honestly, a lot of that was from the fucking video game medium, and that's where some of their most successful stuff has been. Their TV series have been pretty fucking awesome for the most part, until it gets to that WB drama, kids, teenage bot bullshit. Their movies have been very hit or miss because they want the MCU, the DCU to be MCU tomorrow.
Right.
And it's not going to happen. That said, again, this was exciting to see a lot of really everybody hype about this.
Right.
And they really threw out a lot of shit, and it was fucking sweet.
Yeah, they had a great showing. I mean, it was really, it's the first time in a while where it was just universal acclaim for a DC showing in terms of what they've got coming to both the movies and video game space. We'll start with video games first. Obviously, we saw two big titles that people were kind of anticipating seeing. The first one is the Gotham Knights. This one is looked really, really good. It's an interesting take. Obviously, at the beginning of the trailer, you're getting a message from Bruce Wayne. Or it starts off, there's a report that somebody's been killed in an explosion, and we find out that Bruce Wayne has been killed.
Oh my God! Wait, is he Batman?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Can't be sure. But this looks a little bit kind of like Marvel's Avengers. You can play it cooperatively, only with 2 people, though. Thought it was 4. It's 2 people, which is kind of a bizarre choice because you can play the missions with 4 these heroes. But Tone, tell me about the heroes that we're going to be playing as. I mean, obviously this is a Gotham Knights game, but we don't have Batman.
So I was very excited right when I saw the trailer hit off. I'm like, oh sweet, Batman's using the fucking motorcycle. You're gonna get to drive that. And I kind of forgot that it wasn't Rocksteady doing this, so right. I was actually just more like, oh, and that kind of like that Arkham mode. And I'm like, wait a second, that cape looks weird. I'm like, and all of a sudden, first of all, when I'm listening to the sound of it, you're getting the police scanner, and it sounds really good. Like, it just sounded like very high def and shit like that. And you're seeing her driving, and then I'm like, holy shit, wait a second, that's Barbara fucking Gordon, that's Batgirl, dope as shit. I'm like, okay, cool, so that's Batgirl, awesome. Heads up to fucking what's going on with Mr. Freeze, and then all of a sudden here's all the rest of them. You see Nightwing. Of course, I saw the trailers backwards, so I should just preface with that. Like, I didn't see this part.
Yeah, I watched the gameplay
first, and it kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh, this fucking cool. You see Nightwing pop out. You've got Robin, and then all of a sudden you've got, of course, the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Along with Barbara Gordon playing, Batgirl, you've got pretty much all of his proteges.
Yep.
And I think there's a name for that, if I remember correctly. I can't think of the name off. Again, DC and me.
Right.
But it's exciting because like these are characters who never get like full on spotlight.
Right.
And that, which is ironic because guys like Nightwing, who were the an early Robin, move on and do his own thing, and sometimes him and Batman are at odds or whatever. And you got Red Hood, who is completely like more that Punisher vigilante and like uses guns and shit like that. So there's clearly going to be a lot of different play styles between the 4 of them. They're going to all play completely different.
Yep.
But it's very exciting because, like, don't get me wrong, I love Batman. I love the tale of Batman. I love Gotham City. I love his villains. If you do or don't like DC, the one thing you can always at the very least say that's consistent and good typically is Batman and everything surrounding him. So it's awesome to I like when they step aside from the main characters. And he lets some of the secondary guys kind of take a step forward. So I think it's a good decision. Yeah. This looks exciting to me. This looks really fun. It graphically looked good. Like that fight with Mr. Freeze was awesome.
Yep.
This looks fucking sweet, man. Sign me up.
Yeah, it looks dope. Like, it looks really good. There's actually a long gameplay segment as well that accompanied this trailer. And like you said, I like the idea of them exploring some, I don't want to say obscure characters, but some of the smaller characters that kind of are in Batman's shadow most of the time. And hopefully what they'll do is they'll kind of explore their backgrounds a little bit more. This kind of gives them an opportunity to really put their stories at the forefront. And it'll be cool for a lot of people who may not be too familiar with these characters to kind of get that much needed backstory to be like, oh, so that's who they are. And that, I mean, obviously everyone knows who Robin is, but I would say a lot of people who are either fans of the movies, just the movies in general, or not too familiar with the comics, they're looking at some of these characters like, who the fuck is Nightwing?
People don't know who Red Hood is. Really.
Yeah, like Red Hood. But I mean, this gives them an opportunity to really delve into their stories, into their backgrounds, and maybe create some exciting gameplay with them as well. As long as the characters play differently and they have different skill trees, much like Avengers, it could be a it could be a lot of fun.
It's got a lot of potential.
So that was a really, really cool trailer. I was really glad that we saw that. But the real Batman stuff that we saw that was really exciting, you guys, was the trailer. We finally got a trailer for Matt Reeves' The Batman. Now, this is a movie that has been, some people have been a little concerned about the fact that Robert Pattinson, who is, very, you think of Robert Pattinson, you automatically think of Twilight, and a lot of people are like that. But since then, Robert Pattinson has really kicked out some incredible performances, very like a wide variety of characters, and has done exceptionally well doing so. He's done a great job at breaking off that Twilight that Twilight shell and really kind of becoming his own as an actor.
Correct.
And so everyone saw this like, oh, he's Batman, come on. But look, man, Heath Ledger caught a lot of shit when they announced him as the Joker.
Michael Keaton did.
Michael Keaton called a lot of shit as Batman.
With Batman and like Jokers, it's always a lot of shit no matter who you cast.
And we talked about trailers earlier. We talked about Bill and Ted's trailer being kind of cringe. This is a fucking trailer, you guys. Let's watch this.
Is that
duct tape?
Okay.
Easy. This trailer is so dope.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright as Gordon.
I'm your secret friend.
Great actor.
Who?
Horse King.
Haven't a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you.
The Riddler. I love
Any of this mean anything to you?
I agree, Josh. It's a killer trailer.
You're becoming quite a celebrity.
That's Andy Serkis right there. Is Alfred talking?
Love Andy Serkis.
Why is he writing to you?
Zoe Kravitz. That girl. No, here, we'll talk about this guy in a minute.
Our justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
Oh, I love this. This supposed to be. Oh.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Vengeance.
It's a good sound for. I like. Yeah. What? What did you say?
We're gonna talk about that panic.
Yup. You don't know, darkness.
You're part of this too.
I agree with that, Lex. I agree with that. Totally. Totes.
You'll see. That's a fucking dope trailer.
That's a fucking
That's
trailer.
how you fucking do a trailer. This movie could be a shit show when it comes out. But you know what? I'm gonna buy a ticket because that fucking trailer, dude.
It totally gave me a boner. I'll be
now
honest.
we're gonna circle back really quick to what Panic just said, because I didn't even know this until like a day or two later when an article popped up. You guys, in that trailer, I didn't even notice it. Nobody did.
Nobody did.
Nobody did until they announced it shortly after, like a day or two later. This right here is Colin Farrell as Penguin. Colin Farrell on the left, and that is him on the right as Penguin. That's incredible.
That's fucking unreal.
That is absolutely. Dude, I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who is this guy? That's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Trick, right? Lex, right?
That is. There was a story that came out about this that Jeffrey Wright, who plays Jim Gordon in the movie, he showed up on set to do a scene with Colin Farrell, and he went to look for him in makeup or whatever. And they were like, "Hey, is Colin in here?" It was like, he just walked past you in the hallway, and Jeffrey Wright was like, "What?" And he went back and he was like, "Holy shit, dude! I didn't even know. He didn't even know it was him."
Didn't even know.
Looks a little like John Goodman. Stop. John Goodman looks way better.
Megasaurus made a funny comment that I've seen probably once on the interwebs, but it does make me laugh. I guess Twilight vampires do turn into bats after all.
I guess you're. Wow.
That's pretty funny. I like that.
That is very, very true.
Jay Hill, definitely agree with that for sure. We were talking about the Riddler earlier.
Paul Dano.
Yeah,
Yep.
he does have that kind of lanky and skinny look.
Yep. He's got the
Edward
the
Nygma.
gravitas as an actor. He has a lot of range. He's really, really good at what he does. For him to play the Riddler, that's a really good actor playing a character that's going to require a lot of like range and a lot of commitment.
Yep.
So
it's not Jim Carrey. We did figure that out, though.
Right, it's definitely not Jim Carrey. But dude, that's wild that was Colin Farrell.
Pretty crazy.
Overall thoughts of the trailer? What'd you dig? What'd you like? What you didn't like?
Here's a random piece of that I really enjoy and I've liked to get. the car that he uses in it looks like a muscle car and kind of looks like that 60s version of the car, like of the Batmobile. I really like that. I know that's a very arbitrary thing to see. I want to throw it out there, so I get it out there. I like that it felt. Christopher Nolan's is very like based in pseudo-realism, real-world take, and I love that about that series. This is as well too. I feel like it's a little less comic booky, but this has that very deep, and what I'm hoping for a lot of us out there, that detective side of it, the detective comic side of it, that dark and gritty noir almost feel to it. And I think that's what's a good thing about what's going on with the Riddler is that the Riddler, while is a puns and riddles and jokes and stuff like that are jokes, but like the Riddler's like that next step that's almost cerebral, and that's where you're kind of getting that feel from that. And I really like that because I think that takes it and kind of like, again, like Nolan kind of did, like made everything translate well into the real world. This is going to still have that a good mix of the two, but kind of take it to like a higher level of that, like like she said, like a thriller, like that, that dark noir, that noir,
like a crime thriller.
And that's appealing to me because that's a side of Bats that we don't always get,
right?
So that's exciting to me. That trailer was fucking awesome. I've been saying since day one, don't clown on fucking Robert Pattinson.
No, man, he's legit.
I've learned over 30 years of watching Batman movies, don't clown on whoever they pick for the shit until you see
Unless it's George Clooney.
Unless it's George Clooney. Actually, I didn't like Val Kilmer either, but
I actually thought Val Kilmer was way better than George Clooney.
Better than George Clooney. Didn't have the aesthetic look of Batman. Too much of a.
I don't think you're wrong there.
Much of a triangle jawline.
But let's talk about the cast. I mean, Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon.
Dude, that dude is a fucking amazing actor.
He's an incredible actor. You loved him in Westworld.
Yes.
He's been Felix Leiter in a lot of the Bond movies. Which, by the way, we're getting a new trailer tomorrow.
For Bond.
Yes. Hype for that. But he's a great actor. Andy Serkis, which is really bizarre. He is going to be Alfred,
not Golem.
Not Golem.
Okay, just checking.
And he's also in a couple of the Marvel movies.
He plays Claw in Black Panther.
There you go. Yep, he's Claw. He's renowned.
Star Wars.
Renowned for his face work. Like in movies.
Oh, dude,
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Oh God.
I think he was in King Kong. I believe he did the facial stuff for King Kong.
Was he Caesar?
He was Caesar. Yeah.
He
did Caesar.
God, that's a trilogy. By the way.
Andy Serkis is an incredible, like method actor. I don't think that's the word you would use for him. Like
face actor.
Face actor. Yeah. I mean, there you go. And voice actor as well. Like he's just an incredibly talented individual, and it's really going to be bizarre to kind of see him in a role that isn't menacing, that isn't a bad guy, that doesn't require him to be on one end of the spectrum, but Alfred, who is more of a mentor or a father figure, guiding Bruce Wayne. It'll be interesting to see him in that dynamic as a good guy, which is really, really different for Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
You've got Zoe Kravitz as Batwoman. Obviously, she's made a lot of big moves. She was awesome in Mad Max. She was really good in Big Little Lies on HBO. She drew a lot of acclaim there. So a talented, actress there for Catwoman. Obviously, Colin Farrell's Penguin, Guys Lights Out, Paul Dano. This is not a movie to fuck around with.
No.
There is talent at every single position, so to speak. Everybody in this movie has some form of hardware for previous performances. So they've got the talent. Matt Reeves is a good director. They're going with the crime thriller aspect. This like Josh says, or I hope this trailer is representative of the final product. Like this is exactly what we want to see from a Batman movie.
First of all, I'd like to say, ladies and gentlemen, your X Division champion is also here. Rohit Raju, the Desi Hitman, the Mocha Skin Manimal.
His mother calls him son because he shines
like one. Champ is here.
Yes, sir.
I know he's not yet sold on Pattinson, but he does definitely hope he's great. So we're hoping exactly that he is. I was more sold on this trailer. I liked his sound already. We'll see how it pans out. But he has had some pretty good big accolades in acting. So I don't know if anybody's still hung up on the Twilight thing. If that is the reason, I don't think that's anything. Hopefully to look as a basis for comparison. So,
right.
And definitely Jay Hill. Yeah, if they're looking more into the parents and how fuck, I can't think of his dad's name. Wayne. God damn it, it's just
Thomas Wayne.
Thank you.
And Martha.
Yeah, right. Martha. And how he was a big piece of that creation of Gotham's bullshit shithole.
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yes.
Rohit says, "Nah, his lack of wanting to get fit for the role was my issue."
That's what it was. So we talked. Yeah. So he was very lackadaisical about getting into that role, and it was about getting fit for it. He wasn't really worried about that because, and that's a good point, because if you're Batman, you're like supposed to be this high intensity kind of like fit athlete into that.
In the Batman storyline, this is basically when he's just becoming Batman, right?
This seems like very early.
So
I guess I don't know. I don't really know.
My understanding is I thought I read that this is a very early version of Batman.
Okay.
Like he's just becoming. So maybe that's why he's not jacked yet. Maybe he's a billionaire. I mean, you don't expect billionaires who aren't superheroes to be out there getting jacked. I mean, no one can be you, Rohit. Okay, that's the thing. I think that's the problem with Rohit. Rohit's just a fucking truck. He expects everyone, like he probably, when he was sitting here for that one episode, he's probably like, oh my God, this guy's so fucking fat. And I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Like, he's probably harsh. I'm sorry I didn't work out for the show, Rohit. Next time, maybe I will.
Oh God, I hope you punch him next time you see him, dude.
He's gonna
punch you. That's a good point, Megasaurus. Yeah, no one hates Twilight more than Robert Pattinson. So, and I do agree with that. I actually forgot about that, bro. Like, I forgot that was a whole thing, that he didn't want to like put a lot of the oomph back in to get himself fit for the role. That's a fair.
He was more interested in performance, and he's not worried about how he looks.
Right.
It's all about the portrayal of the character. It's all about his delivery. It's all about how he's perceived on screen.
Right.
You know, carrying a movie with his acting as opposed to his looks. So I mean, it is what it is. But overall, I mean, that was a dope trailer. It was a really, really dope trailer.
It's exciting. I'm excited. Just like anything when it comes to DC and Batman stuff, you really have to take it with a grain of salt, and you really got to wait and give it its day in court, because 9 chances out of 10 is going to be a pile of shit. Sometimes, there's a gold nugget.
Wolfie says, I like that they have kept the dark vibe to the reboot. Agreed.
I think that's definitely a big theme of it.
I think that's a more appealing Batman world. I mean, when I think of campiness, I think of Adam West. God rest. And I love Adam West.
Yeah, I love that Batman.
It's awesome. It's fun. It's great. And even Tim Burton to a degree. A little bit of campiness in some of his movies, but more so Joel Schumacher. I mean, his movies were really fucking campy. But when you look at what Christopher Nolan did with that Batman, I think that's just more fitting. It fits better with the source material. Especially some of the stuff that, I don't know if you guys have seen this either. I don't think it's just on Apple, but there is a Joker documentary. It was on Apple TV. It might be somewhere else. But there is a Joker documentary where they explore the evolution of Joker, and it's narrated by Kevin Conroy, and they do interviews with Jack Nicholson. They do interviews with Mark Hamill.
Whoa! We need to do that. We need to watch that and talk about.
I watched it already, man. That's wild.
I need to watch this.
Maybe we'll do a little quickie about it and talk about it.
Dude,
double quickie.
Yeah,
dude, it's really fucking sweet how they kind of look at how goofy Batman got, even in the comics. Back in the day before Frank Miller?
Yeah.
Went with the dark stuff, and that's when it kind of came back, and we were like, this is what we want more, especially from the Joker's perspective. The Joker was like, who was the guy that played him on in the 60s?
I can't think of
Cesar Romero?
Yeah.
I think it was Cesar Romero.
Yeah.
People didn't like that.
Double quickie, right.
The way they kind of just explored the Joker, they're like, look, he is more, I don't want to say likable, but he's more entertaining when he is the chaotic, unpredictable, menacing bad guy who is killing people.
Right. That's
what they want him to be, because it is the perfect opposite end of the spectrum of Batman.
Absolutely.
And the way they just explored it, dude, it was so cool. It's an awesome, about 35, 40 minutes, but it is so good. And I mean, they talked to everybody. Everybody was on it.
I can't believe I've never heard of this.
I think
awesome.
I don't know if it's an Apple exclusive. It was something that popped up during DC Fandome.
Okay.
I just remember it popped up. It was like, because we had just got done watching I can't remember when we were watching it. It wasn't very we just got done watching Project Power. Now, that sucks. And then I went on there and I was like, oh look, there's this Joker thing. I was like, let's watch it. Maybe that's better. Who's your favorite Joker?
Hamill. Yeah, that's my answer too.
Yeah, I'll go with Hamill. I will say Heath Ledger was definitely a close second, but I really just love Joaquin Phoenix. His
as
portrayal.
A live action, Hamill's still overall my favorite.
Oh, I mean, Hamill was amazing, and obviously I can't imagine the Arkham games without Hamill doing the voice.
Right.
I mean, he's incredible. The guy just knows how to make a menacing character. He makes him spine tingling, terrifying, and that's what Mark Hamill does best. But like in terms of live action, no disrespect to Jack Nicholson, but I just saw him more of a campy Joker than what I saw from like Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix.
I get it.
I just feel like those are the more, in my mind, those guys embodied and encompassed everything I would expect from a Joker. You know, somebody that's truly uncompromising and dangerous. Jack Nicholson was too funny, where Heath Ledger was kind of funny, but in a way you're just like, Jesus Christ, really?
It was coming from a dark reality.
Yeah.
I am a Jack Nicholson guy overall. I like Heath Ledger.
Mhm.
I get why people like it. I also think that he gets extra love because he passed because of it. That's a whole other topic, but we've been down that rabbit hole. Yeah, we were actually at a convention, and Mark Hamill randomly showed up to promote Arkham Knight, and it was pretty fucking dope.
Oh, man.
It was hype as shit.
I mean,
it was hype
Wolfie
as
says
shit.
Hamill made those games and outshines Kevin Conroy. I mean, it's Mark. Look, man, Mark Hamill.
You can't
is
have
next level.
one without the other. To be fair,
That's a good point.
you can't. You cannot have one and not have the other. It wouldn't feel right.
I still think Kevin Conroy was an incredible Batman for voiceover.
Dude,
I mean, he was so good.
Dude, seeing the Killing Joke on the big screen
Mhm.
and having them do the voice.
This is wild. I'm telling you, like they do. Adam West shows up in that. I mean, it is a Batman. Just it's Batman orgasm.
Yeah, and it's a great thing about both those roles that they're revolving doors.
Yeah.
You know, when Mark Hamill was talking about the character Joker and saying, my friends were telling me not to do the Joker voice because I was following Jack Nicholson. That was career suicide.
Mhm.
But he explains how like it's a character that really doesn't have any one person that can tie down to it. It's an interpretation. It's a revolving door. There are different, and DC recognizes different,
That's exactly what every one of those people talked about in that documentary.
That's a big piece of it.
It's a character that can be interpreted in so many ways and portrayed in so many ways, because when it comes to chaos and madness, there is no
limit.
Yeah, there's no limit and there's no restrictions.
Exactly. That's the word.
Yep. It was
yes.
It's Frank Welker and Peter Cullen working together.
You can't have one without the other.
Can't have one without the other, baby. You know how it is. So
Optimus and Megatron.
I forgot to grab the trailer that we really wanted to talk about. Suicide Squad trailer.
Yes.
Dude, the cast.
So you're talking John Cena. You got Sean Gunn, of course, playing
Nathan
as a rat.
Fillion.
The one and only Nathan Fillion. Absolutely. That got me probably the most excited. Actually, seeing John Cena's name in there was pretty dope. I thought that was exciting.
Yep.
Michael Rooker.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people he brought in from some of the Marvel side as well, too.
Yep.
And if anybody can save an obscure series, it's definitely going to be James Gunn. Everybody thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be trash. It was a little-known comic. Look what he did to it. So if anybody can fix... Because here's the thing about the first Suicide Squad movie. It was not a good movie. The characters and the people that were played by those characters and the actors was not their fault. They did the best they could. The writing and the story were shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got James Gunn at the helm. Awesome.
And it's interesting to note, we talked about this after that trailer dropped. It is called Suicide Squad. It's not Suicide Squad 2. Even though some of the cast is back from the original Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean the title can't change between now and then, but it was simply called Suicide Squad. So is this not a follow-up?
Is this right?
Or is this a reboot?
That would be interesting.
I think that's interesting because, like I said, there are 4 or 5 characters, like actors from that.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie. I think Boomerang is Courtney Jai.
It's Varro and Spartacus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Courtney Jai. I mean, that's what happens when you let a trailer company edit your movies, right? You forgot to put the 2 in there, you fucking idiot.
Right.
And see, Pikachu. That's the thing. Like I actually haven't finished Suicide Squad. I watched it and I really enjoyed like the first 20, 30 minutes because you got that character. There's good actors and there's good dynamic and it was cool. But then it hit a point where the CGI just went through the roof, and I immediately just went back to. I was still kind of burned from Man of Steel. I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go. I don't know what's going on. So I stopped watching it and I never went back to it.
Yeah, and the Deadshot, is that who Will Smith played?
Yeah, Deadshot.
Yeah. He's not even mentioned or brought in. They're not even, and Deadshot's a big part and always a big piece.
No,
of
Deadshot is isn't that Idris Elba?
No, I think he's playing somebody else.
Continue. I'll look.
I really do. But somebody is saying it's advertised as a reboot. So I guess if it is actually a reboot, then sure, it could be Idris Elba. I did not think that he was playing Deadshot. If that's really wild, if they're bringing all these characters back and doing a complete reboot on it, because it doesn't even have.
Goddamn phone just died. Go ahead, keep going. I'm looking it up.
Doesn't even have what's her face. Got the same lady that played.
Viola Davis.
Yep. And then the fucking guy's name that was in the fucking. He was also in Ultra Carbon and the RoboCop reboot. Played Alex Murphy.
Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, Joe Kinnaman, Rick Flag. We have Idris Elba as Bloodsport. Sorry, it's Bloodsport, not Deadshot.
So it's a different character. So Deadshot's not in it then. So Will Smith said, "No, man, I'm getting jiggy with it down here in Miami, and I'm
out
with it."
Dude, John Cena as Peacemaker. Are you fucking serious, dude?
Dude's a funny guy, man. Good for him. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's wild. But I mean, this, like you said, man, if anyone can get this right, if anyone can get to the big screen, what makes Suicide Squad so appealing, it's gonna be James Gunn.
You can wrangle it in.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
All right. Brings us to the end of the show.
It does. There are a few things to note, though.
There are a few things. What is going on this week, dude?
So, since Avengers has dropped this week, we are thinking, I am at the very least, we don't know about this jerk, but as you see there may be a B&B Plays coming this Friday. This Friday, B&B Plays featuring myself, the Hulk, and maybe, if you guys can tell right there,
oh my God,
that beautiful red-headed Black Widow there, a.k.a. TheDude79, may be involved for B&B Plays. That's gonna be Friday night. We're aiming for. There you go.
Oh,
look at that.
God.
Oh, it's so fucking beautiful. That hair.
Who's the Hulk? Who's the Hulk?
That's your one and only.
Jeez,
your one and only.
You're a goofball.
Hulk smash. So B&B Plays, we're gonna aim for probably about 9 or 10 p.m. on Friday. At least go live for a few hours, talk about the gameplay with it, and maybe get some of our community. Atomic might be involved as well too. Hopefully you and Piccolo can make it. If not, just watch for us. Watch the socials for that. We're gonna run for that. Outside of that, we're not doing a quickie. Any B&B quickies this week? We're not doing just because Marvel is kind of taking over our life.
Yeah, it really has.
I might go live tomorrow with my personal stream. Maybe a B&B Plays. I haven't decided yet. Or I might just play it and sitting around naked all day or whatever.
Jesus.
Hulk smash naked. So
sweet.
Other than that, there could potentially be something next Wednesday.
Yes. So
maybe.
Before we wrap up the show, obviously we're still waiting to hear from PlayStation and Xbox regarding the systems, the dates, and the prices. Next Wednesday is September 9th, which is the 25th anniversary of PlayStation, and Sony and a lot of these Japanese companies are all about anniversaries. They're all about recognizable dates. They're all about doing things a certain way. And there's a lot of rumors swirling that Sony is planning a big show for the 9th where they'll talk about some more of the other titles that have been rumored to be in existence, including a Silent Hill exclusive title, which would be pretty crazy. Japan Studios involved with that. They're very talented. If there is a PlayStation announcement or a PlayStation show on Wednesday during the day, we will be live Wednesday night with a B&B proper, kind of like a makeshift episode to kind of talk about that in general and see what's going on.
Because if that's the case, that could be the first of the two to kick off prices, dates, and actual realism in the next gen consoles. And we're still waiting on who never knows when Xbox as well too. So that's the closest we've got right now. Is this potential 25th anniversary makeshift day. Now it might not be nothing because the last time we thought on a Monday things were going to happen, all these rumors, blah blah blah, nothing happened. So
nothing happened. But and Cuddles, like that's one game I'd buy a fucking PlayStation 4. Dude, I'm telling you right now, man, if they run a show on the 9th and they talk about a SOCOM game,
I'll do some dirty things.
There's going to be jergens and tissue, and this fucking stream will be age-gated horrifically. In fact, it'll be the last show we do on Twitch.
And we'll call it the Bukkake episode. Just saying.
It's going to be hot if they announce a SOCOM. But that'll depend on what's going on next Wednesday, so just keep an eye on our social outlets, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, anything like that. If we are going to get a show in, we will let you know. Hop in the Discord.
Yeah.
We'll always let you know in the Discord as well. We've also got some plans. I'm hoping by the next episode to introduce some stuff We got some ideas that we're really excited to present to all of you, and we look forward to talking about it hopefully by the next show. So that's going to be it for tonight, though, dude. This is our longest show by far.
Is there a Discord?
Hey, I don't know, Cuddles. Is there a Discord?
Is there a Discord?
I think there might be something you can do about that, Cuddles.
Yeah, Cuddles.
I think there is a Discord.
Cuddles.
I think.
We appreciate you, Panic. Thank you. We like being here. I'm more like Pooh Bear. And he's kind of Baloo.
Hey, come on,
Is that
bro.
right? Or is it flipped?
I think you got it flipped.
Really?
But seriously, guys, we appreciate you guys so much. Did I do it right? I did. There you go. Hop over to the Discord, jump in, click on it, join the community. Food porn channel is pretty hot. The Deviant page, the discussion box is always hot. There's a lot of good stuff going on there. Everyone's always my favorite is also the not suitable for work memes. Those are
that gets out of hand.
Those are pretty.
That's the public one.
Those are pretty horrific. So, but that's gonna do it for tonight's show. If you're watching this on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Maybe sub to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, share it with some of your nerd friends. If y'all are nerds like us, share it with your friends. If you're listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. We'd really appreciate it. If you're not ready to give us a 5-star rating, that's totally cool. Send us a DM.
Give us some
send us
feedback.
an email. Let us know what we can do to make this a 5-star show. That kind of stuff, the thumbs up and the 5 stars on iTunes, really gives us a lot of exposure, and we really, 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 really appreciate that. It means the world to us. We're also on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Wherever you want to catch the show, you can catch the show. But we really want to have you here live on Twitch, in the chat, like all these crazy folks. So, for Fanboytone, I'm the Dude79. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you in 2 weeks, maybe Friday night, for B&B Plays. Night, everybody.